Have your attention, please, all rise. Orange County Municipal Court is now in session. The Honorable Donald R. Camper presiding. All those having business before the court draw nigh and shall be heard. God bless the great state of Ohio and this honorable court. You may be seated.
Good morning. Today is the 25th day of August. Welcome to the Orange County Municipal Court. I'm Judge Capper. Those of you who have reviews are going to get called. When you are called, come up to the table to the right. We're reviewing your file to see if you've been compliant with court orders. So, if you think you should have been called and aren't, go check in with the clerk. If you have missed a review hearing before, you won't be called with the one for today. You'll be called later, but you need to go check in with the clerk if you missed a hearing previously. Call the reviews.
Kayla Smith, Jeannie Covelli, Danny Dodson, Terry Fannin Jr., Brian McClellan, Bradley Midkiff, Taylor Bryan, Amanda Burns.
Jeannie Covelli is 024667, and we just have to pay off your fines. Do you have a payment on your fine?
Not today. I'm going to work with Josh tomorrow,
Okay.
but they laid me off how to get retrained because they wouldn't give me reciprocity. So I finished that yesterday. And I go back to work Monday.
Okay, so you'll be out tomorrow morning?
Yes, sir.
September 29th will be your next hearing.
Okay, and Your Honor, Michael said to tell you, to send you his regards.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kayla Smith, 23271, is at Bethesda. Okay, it sounds like she's made progress, still working on things, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, keep it up. I'm going to set her for September 22nd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
9 o'clock. Danny Dotson, 2223, 192448.
Your Honor, he's completed treatment.
Okay. You'll give me a completion letter then?
Yes, sir.
Community service is all done, you just have to pay off your fines. Do you have a payment today, sir?
Sir,
How much?
25.
Okay, see the clerk. You can also work, if you can't pay, you can do extra community service. You can get $50 a day credit. Are you working someplace else now?
Yeah,
What's better for your work schedule, Mondays or Fridays?
Friday.
September 29th will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Terry Fannin Jr., 21315, 211131. Southern Post. Okay, screens are good. Report's pretty positive, I would say.
We'll pay it off Wednesday.
Okay. Next hearing, September 29th, 9 o'clock. Brian McClellan. It's here. 18, 25, 52, 16, 200, 14, 35, 49, 10, 6, 38, 09, 12, 29. You have a payment today, Mr. McClellan?
Actually, I won't be able to pay until Tuesday if that's okay. I got a check, but I can't cash it until Monday.
Okay. I'll set your next hearing then for the 11th, September 11th is your next hearing.
Okay. Thank you.
9 o'clock. Bradley Midkiff, 17,754, 15,896. Okay, looks like you paid everything off, you just have to finish community service, is that
I
right?
turned in community service earlier.
Your Honor, if I may, he did turn community services in this morning.
Okay, was
We
it,
done at Cabot County Courthouse.
is it,
I have not looked at it, I don't know how many hours.
It's 40 hours.
It may have been finished in, I'm not sure.
okay, well, I'm gonna set another hearing date, but you need to check in with probation just to make sure you got full credit for it.
Okay.
Before then. So I'll set it for September 25th, 1 month from today. But if it checks out, then you don't have to be here.
Okay.
Just check in with probation before then.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Taylor Bryan, 23,112, 20,112, 23,439. Oh, no, that's a different person. That 23,439 is Amanda Burns. So Taylor Bryan is the first two numbers I gave. Are you Taylor or?
No.
You're Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay. Taylor Bryan was called, has not appeared, and is not finished, so there'll be a warrant issued. Amanda Burns, 23,439. Okay, you were supposed to get an assessment with PROAC. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Do you have anything from them?
I've been going to group every week, and then I have therapy every week with PROAC. And
Okay.
going to my AA meetings and all that stuff. I got a sponsor and all that, so,
Okay, but they didn't give you a report to bring to court?
no.
Okay, I want you to go do a urine screen then, and come back and I'll decide how we're gonna go forward. So go do a urine screen and I'll have you back after I get the results.
Dakota Kraft, Douglas Jeffries, Brandon Gannon, Frankie Gilliam, Matthew Hoff, Ryan Kemp, Tracy McDonald, and Jared Nance.
Dakota Kraft,
So,
2320, 22,132, 20, 2617, 15,928. Is that Bethesda? Okay, it's a very good report.
thanks, sir.
Thank you.
We're hoping that Mr. Kraft is transitioning to sober living. I think it's best for him at this point.
Okay, so that'll happen in the next month or so?
Yes.
Okay, and then, job, have you got a job?
Not yet, sir. I put in to go to Recovery to Works. So
Okay,
try to help me
work
out.
there. All right, very good. Done really well. Of course, every time there's a transition, that's a kind of dangerous time where people can mess up. So you gotta stay vigilant.
I have no intention of messing up, sir.
Very good. September 29th will be your next hearing.
Yes, sir.
9 o'clock. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Douglas Jeffries, 23438. You were supposed to go to PROACT.
Yes, sir.
Have you done that?
Yes, sir. We signed me and Amanda both have signed the release for the assessment and stuff already too, so I don't know if they've sent it over yet or not.
I have not received anything from them. So once you go do your urine screen, then we'll have you back out after we get the results.
Okay.
Brandon Gannon, 222402. All right. Mr. Gannon, what have you done on your case since January?
I got some money to pay on my fines today. I still got to get community service done. I still owe some money.
Okay, how much are you paying on your fine?
$250.
Are you working now?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, well, you need to be out tomorrow morning for community service.
All righty.
7:30 a.m. right here.
Sound
Right.
good?
Okay, Mr. Cooper's got your name down. Go see the clerk and make your payment, and your next hearing is September 25th. Frankie Gilliam, 22782 and 783. Frankie Gilliam is not finished, hasn't done anything actually, and case was set for review today. So it'll be a warrant issued. Matthew Hoff, is at RRS. Okay, I take this, your stuff you're working on, but you're making a legitimate effort to make changes and corrections and improvements. So congratulations on that. I think it's positive. So can you pay anything on your fine today?
You allowed me to do community service, and I did one day day before yesterday.
Okay. All right. Keep up the good work. You're doing well.
Thank you.
September 29th will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ryan Kemp, 23159. Is that Bethesda? Okay, this is an excellent report. It even says you're a good role model for other people, so
Mr. Camps has also secured employment. His first day is today.
great. We'll get you out of here so you can work. So is he's still, he's not finished with treatment? Or
He is finished with the residential part. We just do sober living, which they can take advantage of while they get their feet kind of planted on the ground.
All right, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to conclude, because you didn't have any fines or costs to pay, I'm going to consider your case completed. Congratulations, you've done really well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Honor.
Tracy McDonald, 222574. He's at New Life Recovery.
Your Honor, Tracy left our program about a week ago on his own. We have, one of our counselors did contact him, and we were under the understanding that he was either going to come back. I'm not sure what the conversation was, but I can't, he's here today, and I'm talking to him about coming back.
All right, what do you have to say, Mr. McDonald?
Well, Your Honor, I do a medication that they don't actually approve in sober living. So I figure instead of pulling the rest of the guys down with me, I would just, I done did everything that I was supposed to do. I was just in sober living.
Okay, well, here's what we want to do. Go do a urine screen, we'll see what that says, and then we'll go from there. So go do a urine screen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jared Nance, 22812. Okay, I take this, looks like there have been some setbacks in the past and things you were dealing with, but bottom line to me, looks like you're on the right path now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bill, you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. You still have some community service and fines to pay, but your sobriety is the number one
I've
project right now.
3 days of my community service done so far.
Yeah, I do have that.
Okay.
All right, let's continue on the path you're engaged in now. September 29th is your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, that finishes the reviews. We're going to start arraignments now, so if you're here for that, what that means is the arraignment is what the first hearing is called on a criminal charge, the purpose of which is to tell you what the charges are. Make sure you understand it. You don't have to agree with the charges, you just have to understand them, what you're facing. The state has to prove those charges against you. All defendants have the right to remain silent. You're not required to make any statements, but if you do make statements, everything we say here is on the record. It's all being recorded, and it can be used against you if you admit something about your case. You have a right to have an attorney, to have one appointed if you can't afford one, and you're facing possible jail time. You're also entitled to consideration for bail and to make the state prove any charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are the rights that all defendants have, and if you enter a guilty or no contest plea, you're waiving those rights. So you should not do that. You should not waive your rights if you don't understand the proceedings. If you want to talk to a lawyer, or if you want a trial on your case, then you need to enter a not guilty plea. That's the safest plea. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Emily Amicon, case number CRV 2285.
Okay, she's on teleconference.
Hi.
All right, this is your Emily Amicon.
Yes.
Case number 2285. You had a review hearing on August the 5th. It's alleged that you missed that. Do you admit or not?
Yes. I didn't know about it. And I haven't been at that address in a while, so I didn't.
Well, you would have been told of this at the time of your sentencing because it's on the It's on the judgment entry that was entered on your case. Where are you living now?
I'm just a coffee right now.
Okay. You've got, you just have fines and costs to pay. It doesn't look like there was any, I don't know why there wasn't, but there's no community service on the judgment entry.
I can base on it.
How are you going to pay your fines and costs? And you can do community service toward it if you can't afford to pay.
Okay, yeah, I can base on it.
You can do that in your home area and submit it from a legitimate charitable organization. You've got $285 was the fine and court costs.
Okay.
All right, since you've appeared by teleconference today, I'll withdraw the warrant, and I'm going to give you another hearing date of September 29th. That's the last Friday of September at 9 o'clock. If you have everything done by then, you don't have to show up. Otherwise, you got to show up for a hearing September 29th. If you've made some efforts toward getting this done, I'll let you appear by teleconference also. But you got to do something between now and then.
Okay, so maybe just have like some of the fines paid?
You can pay the fines, or you can do some community service toward the fines. I'll give you $50 a day credit.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, September 29th, 9 o'clock is your next hearing.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Chad A. Sheets, case number CRB 18729. All right, sir, you're Chad Sheets?
Yes.
Mr. Sheets, it's alleged that you missed a hearing for review on a littering case back in April 28th of this year. The warrant got issued. It looks like you got arrested on the warrant and you posted a bond now.
Yeah, I was in prison when I had the court date.
Okay. Where are you living now?
Gallipolis.
Not Crown City? You used to live in Crown City, right?
Yeah, I live in Gallipolis now.
Okay. Well, you've got 5 days community service. Well, you paid all of your fine except for $50. I guess that was the warrant fee. So,
Yeah.
So get that taken care of. You can do community service in Gallipolis if you wish.
All right.
I'll let you do it there. I'm not sure if the municipal court would let you do what we do with other courts. If they'll let you do it there, and then have them send the hours here, we'll give you credit for it.
Okay.
And I'll set, check and see how many we got set now. I'm going to set it for October 2nd.
All right.
First Monday in October.
All right.
October 2nd is your next hearing, and it'll be for sentencing. It'll be at 10 o'clock because you have a bond up now.
All right.
So 10 o'clock on October 2nd, get everything done before then, you don't have to show up.
All right.
Okay, that's all.
State of Ohio versus Wesley Collins, case number TRC 231145, A and B.
You're Wesley Collins, sir?
Yes. My attorney's not present yet. He will be late.
All right, Mr. Holt?
Yes.
You want to wait for him to
Yes.
appear? All right, we'll recall after Mr. Holt appears.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Tracy J. McDonald, case number TRC 222574.
Okay, it's an acceptable screen. Was Mr. McDonald considered completed with New Life Recovery? What was his status?
No, he was not, Your Honor. He had tested positive for THC, and he was taking gummies, and we don't allow that, so
Okay.
he left.
Well, he's still testing for some THC. All right, well, you still owe some community service. So you were ordered to complete treatment as part of your sentence, so you need to go back and complete it. And I let you change. You're not at the place you were initially, so I already let you make a change, and I think that was your choice. So complete treatment, pay your fine. Do you have a payment today?
No, I'm kind of stuck in between work.
Okay, you can do community service to work it off. You gotta do something.
The whole thing with the treatment is I don't think there's an end to it.
There will be an end to it.
I mean, I've been in there 9 months.
Okay, you don't get to decide when the end is.
Well, they want me to transition into my own place and do all these other things, and I don't know how to do that. I've been where I'm at for
You'd rather go
25
to
years.
jail? You'd rather go to jail?
No, that ain't what I'm saying.
Well, I didn't think it was. So do what they're set up for you in your treatment or go to jail. You got 20 days of jail suspended. You can do that instead if you like.
Nah, not really, but.
Well, good. Do what you're supposed to do. Do what they set up for you.
If he doesn't report back, Your Honor, tomorrow morning I'll notify the court.
All right. Once you guys talk, once you leave the courtroom, that's something set up. All right, October the 2nd is going to be your next hearing. Tracy, you've had a long-term problem. I've known you for a long time, so
Yes,
you
sir.
can do this, but you got to adjust your thinking.
Well, there's just no.
I've heard enough.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
October 2nd is your next hearing.
State of Ohio recalls Douglas Jeffries, case number CRA 23438.
Okay. Well, not good, so he needs to go into custody. Command you into the hands of the sheriff this time. We'll deal with that in the court.
State of Ohio recalls Amanda Burns, case number CRB 23439.
Same thing. She needs to go into custody also.
Can I get my stuff, my phone and stuff?
They'll go with you. And both these people are going to need to be evaluated for inpatient. You have West Virginia medical card?
My person's working at recovery point, she can get me a bed today.
Okay, we'll have you at the end of the docket, we'll figure out what we're going to do, but they're testing for a lot of stuff, both of them.
State of Ohio versus Shayla Griffith, case number TRC 23731 A and B.
You're Shayla Griffith?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Griffith, it's alleged that on August the 19th at 4:20 a.m. in Fayette Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence of alcohol. And the state's alleging that you took a breath test and tested 12 on the breath test. Under Ohio law, the per se level is 8. And what that means is if you take a breath test, and test 8 or higher, and if the state followed the rules for giving the test, that's a big if. There is a presumption of impairment for any test score above 8, and they're saying you tested 12. It's alleged to be your first offense, and on a first offense, the maximum is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, and a 3-year license suspension. The state's also alleging that you were speeding, driving 90 miles an hour in a 55 zone. That's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty is $150 fine. Do you understand these charges? Yes?
Yeah.
Do you understand the rights you have?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to these charges?
Guilty.
Guilty means you're admitting it's true, and by doing that, you waive the rights you have to remain silent, have a lawyer, make the state prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those things?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea. I'm going to read, the officer read a report to the court, so I'm going to read that into the record. And then if you want to make a statement or explanation, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, the officer says on August 19th, I was traveling east on US 52 near milepost 19. I noticed a vehicle in the left lane traveling west at a very high rate of speed. I checked the speed with my radar at 90 miles an hour in a 55 zone. I turned around and began to try to catch up to the other vehicle. I was able to catch up to the vehicle and saw the road just off of US 52. I stopped the vehicle and made a driver's side approach and contacted the driver. On contact with the driver, I could smell an odor of alcohol coming from the vehicle. I asked the driver where she was heading to. She said she was going to a friend's house in South Point. I asked her for a license and she provided it and identified her as Shayla Griffith. I advised her why she was stopped. I asked her if she had consumed alcohol that night. She stated she did not. I asked her to step out of the vehicle and walk back to my cruiser. While walking back to the cruiser, I asked her where she was coming from. She said she was coming from Stonewall Bar in Huntington. I asked her if there would be any reason why I would be able to smell an odor of alcohol coming from her vehicle and from her person. She stated that she had been drinking prior to going to the bar. She said she was sharing a cheap bottle of vodka with her friends around 11:30. I advised her I was going to check her for impairment. I had her perform horizontal gaze and nystagmus test, that's the eye test. While performing the exercise, I noticed her eyes were bloodshot. I could smell an odor of alcohol coming from her person, and there were clues for alcohol on the test. I gave her a walk and turn test. She was able to perform this exercise properly. I gave her one leg stand test. After explaining the instructions, she was able to perform this exercise. I offered her a portable breath test, and I asked her how much vodka she had consumed. She said she drank around half of a fifth. She provided a breath sample on the portable breath test, and it showed a test score of 11. She was placed under arrest for OVI. She was read her Miranda rights. Another officer arrived from South Point Police Department and witnessed her being given the B&B form 2255. She agreed to give a breath sample at the post on an toxilizer 8,000, and it came back at 128. I just rounded it off to 12. She was advised her license was suspended and where to appear for court. She was released to her father at the Walmart parking lot. Do you have a statement or explanation you want to make?
No, sir.
Why were you driving 90 miles an hour?
I couldn't give you a good answer for that.
Maybe because you had too much to drink, but that's a very dangerous combination. You being under the influence and driving 90 miles an hour, you're a danger to yourself and everybody else that was out on the highway at that time. Are you in school, working? What's going on?
I work
Where do you work?
at Cracker Barrel in Barbersville.
Okay. And you live in Barbersville. I've got a Barbersville address for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I kind of have a sliding scale. The higher you test on the breath test, the higher I make your fine. So I'm going to make your fine $600 based on that. It's a first offense. $600 fine. Court costs 20 days in jail, and I'll suspend all of your jail days on the condition you do the other things I order you to do. So I don't want you to go to jail. You won't have to go to jail as long as you do these things. You got to do 5 days of community service, and we have a community service program here at the court. You can work any day, but Sunday or a holiday, there's community service here available to be done. Be here at 7:30 a.m. and it lasts till about 2:30. You'll be on probation for 2 years until you finish everything. You won't have to report after you finish everything. Level 4 probation. You have to go to, and this is state law, either have to give you jail time, which I don't want to do, or make you go to a 3-day program, which I think if you have a West Virginia driver's license, they'll make you go to this program anyway, or one in West Virginia, so to get your license back. So you'd have to do it anyway. So 3-day treatment program called Driver Intervention Program. We do not have one in Lawrence County right now. We had one for many years. It went out of business. There's several throughout the state. The closest next one is in Portsmouth. But you can go, if you want to go to one of the big cities, they have multiple ones, Cincinnati, Columbus, but you have to go finish one of those 3-day programs. It's an overnight program till you go stay for 3 days. And West Virginia will require that to get your license back. Ohio's going to notify West Virginia about your suspension, so you're going to get a suspension from West Virginia. I'll set a review hearing for you for February 23rd, so that's way out there. I'll give you a lot of time to get all this stuff done, and it's a checkpoint to see if you are working on it. You got to show up at that hearing at 9 o'clock. That's what we did at the very first thing. If you get everything finished, you don't even have to come to the hearing, because that's what it's for, so make sure you do everything. If you finish it, confirm with your probation officer, you don't have to come to the review hearing. If you haven't finished it, you got to show up. If you don't show up and you got stuff left to do, you get a warrant for your arrest. Okay, I think that's everything on the ODI. On the speed, I'm going to give you the max I can. It's a $150 fine. I'd give you more if I could, because that's totally ridiculously unreasonable, driving 90 miles an hour at any time, especially while you're under the influence. Okay, now you're going to go meet with the probation officer. When you exit the courtroom, make a 90-degree left turn. There's a table there with some brochures on it. Just past that's a counter. That's the probation officer. You're going to go there, talk with Mr. Major, who's the probation officer here. He'll give you some paperwork. Everything I just told you is going to be on a piece of paper called a judgment entry. So you don't have to remember it. So it's going to be on there. The court has a website, so I'm sure you know how to use a computer. If you forget stuff, you can check your case by going online, pulling up Lawrence County Municipal Court. Your case is going to be on there, and you can look and see what you're supposed to do. Or you can call. You can call your probation officer. You can call the clerks. There's no excuse for not doing what you're ordered to do. Any questions? Go check in with probation. Now, let me look and see. You do have insurance, so what I'm going to give you a permit to drive.
Thank you.
After 15 days. Under Ohio law, you got to get what's called a hard suspension for 15 days. You can't drive for the first 15 days. After that, I'll let you drive for work, to come to community service, to come to any of your treatment or your follow-up hearings. Is there anything else that you absolutely have to drive for?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you think of something, you can talk it over with Mr. Major, your probation officer. He'll give you this permit. So you're going to show up as suspended, but you're going to have this piece of paper from me that says you're allowed to drive. So the best, you're going to have, if you get pulled over, you're going to have some explaining to do. So the best thing to do is obey all the traffic laws. Use your turn signal. Obey the speed limit. Just don't get pulled over, because otherwise you got problems. You should be doing that anyway, but especially now that you're on this limited driving privileges. February 23rd of next year at 9 a.m. is your next hearing back in the court. Get things done, and you don't even have to come down here. Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Samuel Bowling, number TRK 20-1185.
All right, you're Samuel D. Bowling.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bowling, it's alleged on July the 5th of 2020 at 4:35 PM in Fayette Township, you were driving a vehicle without a driver's license. That's an unclassified misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 500 hours community service, $1,000 fine. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
You understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge?
No contest.
No contest means you don't want to fight it, you agree you can be found guilty if I think the state has enough evidence to convict you. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've got a statement from the trooper. Barr says defendant was going east US 52. His speed was checked by laser radar. It was over the posted speed when he went by. He had no eye protection. This was on a motorcycle. And he did not have a license plate on the motorcycle. He stated he just bought it and the BMV won't answer the phone. He stated their door is still locked. He stated his eye protection just flew off before he got to me. And he did not have an endorsement to operate a motorcycle. And then what I'm showing is then you didn't, the reason this is so old is you did not come to court when you were ordered to, which was July 28th at 4 PM. You didn't show up, and that caused a warrant to be issued, and it looks like you got arrested on that warrant.
Yeah.
And then you had to post a bond to secure
Yeah,
your-
I honestly thought I had gotten that taken care of, but I guess I didn't.
Okay. Any explanation you want to give me, other than what you just did?
COVID was going on, everywhere was closed. I could not get a license plate for the bike, couldn't get an endorsement.
Okay, do you still have the bike?
No, that's long gone.
Okay, so you never did get an endorsement either?
No, I
Are
sold
you
it
still
right
living
after.
in Kentucky, or where do you live now?
Yes, I'm still living in Kentucky.
Big Run Road?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, on the no motorcycle endorsement, I'll impose a $100 fine and court costs. Can you pay that today? $210. It'll be 110's the cost of and the fine's 100.
Yeah.
Okay, no probation, no other fees. Pay it today and you're done.
Thank you, sir.
See the clerk, it's to the right as you leave the courtroom.
State of Ohio versus Crystal McMillan, case number CRB 16688. Crystal McMillan. Did not check in.
Okay, she had failed to appear previously, got arrested on a warrant for not appearing, and has now posted a bond through Mr. Sowards. So I'll notify him she still didn't appear. So I'll issue a warrant for her today. That's what he'll want. Bench warrant today for failure to appear. And set a bond forfeiture hearing for September the 18th. I've notified him by text.
State of Ohio versus Mary Collins, case number TRD 152849 and CRB 131037.
No, I didn't call yet.
All right, ma'am, are you Mary Collins?
Yes.
This is a case that looks like you had a review hearing July 23rd of 2021, and that you missed that hearing and a warrant had been issued since that time. And you're coming in on your own, looks like. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Straighten things out?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you admit or deny first that you missed the hearing back in 21?
I admit.
Do you have an explanation for that?
I went to prison in June.
I'm sorry.
I went to prison in June of 21.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And when did you get out?
Tuesday.
Where are you going to be living now?
Burlington, South
Okay.
Point.
All right, I'll cancel the warrant since you came in on your own, give you another review hearing date. What I'm showing is, on case number 15-2849, you just owe fines, $235. On 13-1037, you just owe $105. You did your community service.
Everything was paid off last week.
Okay, can you confirm that? Thirteen, 1037.
Nothing is showing in that case.
Okay. It does look like there was a payment August 4th on both of these.
Nothing is showing in the other one either.
All right, your cases are complete, then I'll just cancel the warrants and there'll be no further review hearings.
Okay.
Case completed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Bradford L. Lusher, case number TRC 213173, A, B, C, and D.
Answer your Bradford Lusher.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
You had a review hearing June 20th of this year on a OEI. Looks like you missed that hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have an explanation for that?
Not really, Your Honor, no. I just lack of being able to get any place. I haven't got my license yet, but
Yeah, you did pay off your fines here recently, it looks like. You still have some community service to do?
yes, sir.
Okay, I'll cancel the warrant since you came in on your own and you did pay your fines. You got to get your community service done. When can you do some of that?
I'd like to be able to do something tomorrow if it's...
That'd be great.
Cool.
Be here at 7:30 in the morning,
Yes, sir.
and I'll set your next hearing October 2nd. So I'm showing you still have to do the DIP school too, the driving intervention program.
Yes, sir. I called the one in Portsmouth, but they never get back with me. And so I thought I'd just, they want me to go back to work at RKJ, and it's halfway, it's in Waverly. And I thought that I'd be able to go on up to the one in Columbus, because they've already spoke to me in Columbus.
Okay, that's fine. Anyone that's approved by the state, you can go to.
Okay,
So October 2nd will be your next hearing at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus William Spalding, case number TRD 23697.
All right, this had been set for a pretrial on August the 18th, Mr. Spalding, and the record appears to show that you were not here on that day. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I wasn't here, I was at the hospital.
Do you have an explanation for that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, it says in hospital. I see there's a note in the file.
Yes.
All right, have you got your license reinstated?
No, Your Honor, what happened, the situation over in Huntington where they suspended my license over an incident that I don't know how it happened, but in light of what's come forth, I got a letter in the mail to report to the Huntington HPD about me leaving the scene, and I didn't know what it was about. Come to find out, 6 months prior to that, 4 to 6 months prior to that, when I was in the Wendy's parking lot, a lady backed up into me, didn't hurt my vehicle, just bumped me, cracked her back windshield, which was a minivan. I offered her, I said, you want to go ahead and call and report it? She knew it was her fault. She said, no. I said, well, it's up to you. I said, you know, there's nobody hurt, there's no damage. So about 4 to 6 months later, I get a letter in the mail stating that I was involved in leaving the scene of an accident, and it had my plate number. Well, what I didn't understand is when the lady left, she pulled out, she went one way. I didn't have a front license plate on my van, and I went the other way. Somehow, some way, of course, the van I drive is lettered Equipment Depot, so it's very, you know, it's very visible and seen throughout the town a lot. But anyway, when I went in to answer the letter that I got from HPD, he wrote me a ticket for leaving the scene. And I asked him, how can you write me a letter? She left before I did, and how did this get reported? Come to find out, no officers were on the scene. The lady that backed up into me has a relative who works for HPD. He called in to another officer who wrote the report, who gave me the ticket. So in light of all this new evidence, Teresa over at the HPD building gave me a September 12th date for a hearing to drop the charges or have them severely reduced. I'm on disability. I draw a check once a month. The $770 that they're wanting, I told her, I said, I can't pay that. So she said, so they set me up for a hearing for that date, so that would either be paid or dropped entirely, in which they will then drop the charges.
Okay, so what we need to do is set this for a hearing after that date.
Yes, sir.
So we need a little process time here. Let's make it September 29th.
Yes, Your Honor.
And, I mean, you got to get this cleared up because, see,
Well,
all the states have entered into an interstate compact. So if you get suspended in one state, you get suspended in the other state. So you're going to have to take care of this. You can't just ignore it.
Well, it looks like I'm at least going to have to either have the fine severely reduced or dropped altogether, so save me the money.
Well, I don't have any control over what they do over there,
yes,
but you know, it is affecting your driving privileges here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll set it for a pretrial, and actually, this is, I don't know if you asked for a lawyer, but this is a case that is jailable, so I can give you a lawyer if you want a lawyer to assist you.
By then I'll have it cleared out.
Well,
I hope so.
I'm not sure. Why don't we do this? Is Mr. Steyer here? I'm going to appoint a lawyer. You're getting Social Security disability, that's your only income. You're eligible for court-appointed counsel. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you who is licensed in both states, and maybe he can give you some advice on the West Virginia matter also. So Mr. Steyer is. Mr. Steyer, this is William Spalding. He has a jailable driving under suspension here. I'm going to appoint you to represent him. This stems from something that happened in West Virginia, so I thought maybe you could assist him on that too. I'm setting it, if you're available, for September 29th, and he can explain how this came about. It's kind of a long story. And you can have the court's file.
I'm available the 29th, Your Honor.
All right, pretrial here, September 29th. I'll give you the court's file to look at, and just return it to the clerk when you're finished.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Daniel Collier, case number TRC 23448, A, B, and C.
There you go. That's my case.
Daniel
So I'm gonna have
Collier
to
is
just
appearing
wait
by
in the lobby.
teleconference.
That's my case, Your Honor.
Okay, and this is Mr. Steyer's case is set for sentencing. He has been on the screen. All right, Mr. Collier, are you there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, and I do have a certificate where he completed a 30-day residential program at OVP. That was back in May. So this was on This is on an OVI case.
Did you respect? I'm sorry.
Your lawyer is here in the courtroom, Mr. Collier.
He is at a different treatment facility now. But I have not received anything from that treatment facility. What is it called?
Rocky Forest, they promised me they sent you a letter saying that they were sorry, that they did something July 4th.
Hang on just to the court?
Yes.
Okay, well, that wouldn't have come to me then. That would have gone either to the judge or to Mr. Mr. Major.
It was an affection. No, it was an affection, no, isn't it?
When was that done, sir?
So, I'm gonna say, I don't know, maybe I don't know. The letter, it was, July 31st.
Okay.
At 11:09
I have nothing in the file.
And did you want me to read it to you?
No, but you can resend it. We're going to need the written report. Or send it to Mr. Steyer.
You could, do you have it in front of you? Sir?
Right here.
Do you have access to a fax machine?
Well, I mean, like a off accident, something like that. No, I mean, not here in my home, I don't.
Oh, I didn't know where you were. Okay, I didn't realize you were at home. But that just don't, they have to send it to the court, is what it comes down to. They have to send it. Can you call them and,
Well, isn't that the number you gave me?
that's the number I would have given you, but I mean, that's been a month ago, so I don't remember exactly what we said, but you still have that number?
Yes.
Let me make sure of the court, make sure of this, hang on.
I didn't receive anything last week, Your Honor.
Well, he says it was the 31st of July that they sent it.
If it hit my box on July 31st, it would not have been kept for this date. That's too far out.
Well, it would have been placed in the file though, wouldn't it?
No, it goes in my box, I review it, but I don't put it in the file because it's not a court date. It's like I would have assumed it was like a weekly report, not a court report that goes in the file.
Was it possible you have it then, or?
No, I wouldn't have it.
But it's possible you got it through.
It's very possible I got it that date, and I've reviewed it, but that far out, I would not have put it in the file because that would be like a weekly report from them, not a court report.
Okay, well, we need another report then anyway. It's been about a month.
Well, let's make sure, make sure the number, 740-867-3547, correct?
I believe that's correct, yes.
So, is that the number you have written down, sir?
Well, I mean, I'm on my phone right now. That's where I don't know if I'll lose you if I try to look.
Let's do this. Why don't the two of you talk, Simon, and...
Hang on, let me make sure I have a phone number for you.
What's your phone? Where can you be reached, Mr. Collier?
937-207-473.
4073? I'll call you back. It'll be a couple minutes. I just got appointed to a case. I need to speak to that individual, and I'll call you, okay?
All right, talk to your lawyer. We'll have you back on after that's happened.
You can disconnect for right now.
Okay.
I'll have you reconnect when it's time. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Robert Alexander at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRA 06838. And Ethan Anderson is on deck.
All right, Robert Alexander.
Yes, that's me.
All right, Mr. Alexander, I'm Judge Capper. This is hearing at the Municipal Court in Chesapeake on a warrant. Looks like this is an old case from 2006. You were convicted of a drug abuse charge, had community service and fines and costs, and a review hearing April 27th of 2006. It looks like you never showed up for that hearing, and you didn't do anything you were, from the record, it doesn't look like you did any things you were ordered to do.
No, I didn't. I ended up getting locked up in West Virginia, and came from home in 2012. And when the pregnancy got to me, I think I was popped up, and of course I was still remain.
Where are you living now? Are you?
I'm in Huntington, West Virginia.
Are you still having drug issues?
Yeah, actually, I actually seen you yesterday, and we talked about.
Yes, so now I saw you in our municipal. So we were going to get you into a treatment program, right?
Correct.
And we didn't decide which one though would take you.
No, we also, I wanted to reserve the opportunity to see what he was facing here.
It was an old drug abuse charge that he had failed to appear on for review. He was sentenced back in 2006 and didn't appear for his review hearing.
Okay.
So now, you have, as I remember, a West Virginia medical card?
I do, yeah.
So, where's Brianna? She was here.
She's back there talking to.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna look for a place to send you.
Okay.
That.
Can I make bond in the meantime?
Well, I sent bond yesterday at $1,000, cash or surety. I haven't set a bond on this one.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I was going to contact John Kincaid at the Ironton Municipal Court and alert him that, and then that bond was going to be converted to an OR bond if he went someplace.
This is Robert Alexander. He has a West Virginia medical card. He needs treatment. You want to talk to him at the jail? Yeah. See that? All right. I've got someone from OVP, Ohio Valley Physicians, going to talk with you about treatment, and then I'll have you back on the screen. After that happens, we'll decide how we're going to do this.
Okay. All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Ethan R. Anderson, case number CRB 2319, and Shannon Darby is on deck.
Ethan Anderson is Mr. Stratton's case.
Your Honor, there is some felony issues that are going to be addressed by Mr. Roger, his attorney, on Wednesday. So, spoke with the prosecutor about this case. We'd just like to have it continued until his felony issues are addressed.
Well, should we put it on the docket for next Friday, or will it take longer than that?
I'm not exactly sure what's going on in felony court. Maybe the prosecutor could speak to as to when they want to reset it.
I think it's appropriate just to keep track.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Next Friday's fine.
So that would be September 1st. All right, I'm going to continue. Mr. Anderson, because you have to go to Common Pleas Court next Wednesday. Yes.
I do.
Are you Ethan Anderson?
Yes, sir.
I understand.
Yes, go ahead. Megan wants to say something.
Your Honor, he was part of QRT. He was actually terminated from the deflection program. I've not been able to reach him, get in touch with him. I've sent him several messages. He was terminated. His case was sent to the grand jury. That's why he's on docket in Common Pleas Court.
Okay. All right, you'll have to appear in Common Pleas. And that hearing, as I understand, is going to take place this next Wednesday, which will be the 30th. Then I'll see you on September the 1st.
Okay, sir, so for Common Pleas or for this, do I have a bond for anything?
What's the state's position on it?
Well,
You're not gonna get out, but what I could do, if I just make it an OR bond, then that puts the common pleas in charge of whatever his bond is.
yes, we don't object to that.
Okay, so I'm gonna make your bond a signature bond, $2,000, signature. But it doesn't mean you're getting out, because you've got a holder from common pleas court, and you have to answer to them, and that's gonna happen on Wednesday. So if they agree to let you out, fine. If you're out and about, you gotta get to the court in Chesapeake next Friday at 10 o'clock. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I'm gonna bet that you're not gonna get out. You're gonna be sitting in jail because of your being dismissed from the QRT team and not doing what you were ordered and agreed to do. And apparently there's a relative or somebody who wants to talk, Mr. Stratton, behind you, so why don't you talk with her about it? I'll set your next hearing for September 1st.
Your Honor, I believe she might be the alleged victim in the case, so.
Oh, is that correct?
Yes.
You want to come out and talk to the prosecutor then?
I just wouldn't, he is going to, he went to rehab, he's got a job, he's been working a job.
It's online there. That's it, yeah. That's the
Well, it is apparently a relative, though.
Do what, John?
I think she is a relative.
Oh, yeah, she is. She is. She's just, I knew she was a victim in the case.
He said that he said that he wasn't doing this QRT, and he has been.
So, Your Honor, this is Ms. Atchison, the alleged victim in this matter, and she's urging us to not pursue this case any further, but I was trying to explain to her that his real issues lie in common pleas court at this point, and that this may be a situation, I mean, long ago, this case has been going on since January of this year, and we discussed the idea of him getting treatment and then being able to...
He was initially awarded release to Bethesda with an ankle monitor.
Yes, and there's a long history here. We knew he had a common pleas court case pending. So eventually, we may decide that it is appropriate to grant Ms. Atchison's wishes and dismiss the case, but we don't feel like it's the right thing to do right this minute.
Agreed. September 1st will be the next hearing.
All right, thanks, John.
Okay, are you guys, so I do have a family holder on here right now?
You do, yes.
Faith on White Judge, I represent him in common pleas. He's got a hearing next Wednesday, or this coming
Right.
Wednesday.
That's why we continue him for 1 week.
Can I speak with you? Thank you, sir.
That's all.
I got it.
State of Ohio versus Shannon Darby, case number CRB 1449, CRB 13963, CRB 12463, CRB 101029, CRB 102349, and David Fetty is on that.
All right, Ms. Darby, you're Sheena Darby. And you were arrested on a warrant.
Recording has started.
I think you know who I am. This is your arraignment hearing, and it looks like you had failed to appear back in June of 20 on some review hearings. 1449 was a domestic violence. 13963 was a disorderly conduct. 12463 was a domestic violence. 1029 was a disorderly conduct, and 102349 was an open container charge. So, do you admit or deny you failed to appear for your review hearing back in June of 20? Do you have an explanation?
I'm not gonna try to give you an explanation. I know that is not.
What's been going on with you for the last 3 years?
Well, I've been living in West Virginia. I got custody back with my kids. I ran a whole household. I bought 2 cars. I raised 6 kids.
What happened to cause you to get arrested?
The guy that I was shooting got in trouble and I was there a long time. I got in trouble with him
In Ohio or in West Virginia?
in West Virginia.
So you've got some issues with the Common Pleas Court too? You have?
Over here?
Yes. You got extradited from West Virginia? How did you get to Ohio?
No, I was arrested a couple of days ago
In Ohio?
on a failure to appear, yes.
And how did that happen? Were you just in a traffic stop, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living in West Virginia?
2320 Fifth Avenue.
Okay, not very far away. Are you clean now, or are you still using drugs?
I'm okay.
Okay, can we get a urine screen on her at the jail? Let's have her do a urine screen. And then I'll have you back after you do the urine screen. I want you to do a urine screen at the jail.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll see you after that's completed.
State of Ohio versus David Fetty, case number CRB 2310. And John Dale Larson is on deck.
Sir, you're David Fetty?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Fetty, looks like you had a review hearing on August 14th that you missed and got a warrant and got picked up pretty quick.
Yeah, they came to my house, I mean,
Okay, do you admit or deny you missed coming to your review hearing?
I forgot about it, because like I said, I got that much procedures, and I didn't write it down, and so here I am.
When was that you got arrested?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay, you only had you only had the court costs actually to pay.
What?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to order your jail time wipes out your court costs. So your case is completed by jail, so I'm releasing you on what I have. If you don't have anything else in another court, you're going to get out.
I'll get out today.
Okay, case completed by jail.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus John Dale Larson, case number TRD 23208. And April Combs is on deck.
All right, John Dale Larson, you know me and I know you, so I don't have to ask if you're John Dale Larson, I know who you are. You got picked up on a warrant for not appearing for a sentencing hearing on May 23rd at 4 p.m. in traffic court. Do you admit or deny you failed to appear?
I'll see you on that, and you sit before traffic court, and I went to traffic court, and some of the stuff's after sentencing, so I don't, it slipped my mind. You know me as well as I know you, I never missed court, no, I did not. That's so much stuff going on since then, it's honestly slipped my mind, I would never miss it on purpose.
Did you ever get your license reinstated?
No, sir, what was, supposed to get, show, what was, I got an SR 22, which is my license retired from SR 22. My insurance was lapsed, and that's why my license was suspended. That's the reason why I didn't pursue it the first time. And now Now, since this ticket's in the, see, I got pulled over Cold Road for the same exact thing, and it's just, now I've gotta wait, they gotta wait a year before I'm able to reinstate my license. I still got carry on 22, but,
When did you get arrested on this?
on probably jail for the failure to appear,
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Oh, you been in 2 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, because you had pled guilty, I'm just gonna go ahead and sentence you. No reason to drag this out. So you made a non-jailable offense jailable by not coming to court, so I'll suspend any fine, order you to pay the court costs since you did 2 days of jail on a non-jailable offense. And I'll give you a final pay date. What's the final pay date? Oh, it's up here. November 28th. So here's the way this works. You've got till November 28th to pay your court costs. So if you don't pay it by then, we just send it into the BMV and you're already suspended, but they're just going to lengthen your suspension. It'll make it longer that you can't get a license. Okay, so
Release for this.
for this, you're released. If you don't have anything else, you're getting out today. You can't stay at the jail. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay at the jail.
I think, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus April L. Combs, case number CRB 23346. Robert Alexander is on deck.
April Combs. This is actually a pretrial today, and Mr. Smith is the attorney. He's in the courtroom.
Judge, we were here 3 weeks ago, and I don't know, April, have you been in jail since we last saw you on TV?
Yes, sir.
August 4th? Okay. This is a case, Judge, where the alleged victim is her daughter, who I understand does not want to proceed. April wants to exercise her right to a trial based upon that information. I don't know what the state wants to do, but April, you still want to have a trial, is that correct?
Is my daughter there?
I don't know. Valerie Walters? It's just a pretrial. She does not appear to be here. Valerie?
State still want to pursue it, or how do you want to pursue it?
Well, Your Honor, we are aware that she has charges in other courts. I think maybe Gallia is one of them. I know there was something about Scioto in the past. But
and refile if she wants to pursue it.
well, we received word from her that her daughter says she's in enough trouble and she doesn't wish to pursue this any further. So what we would do is just not it without prejudice and...
All right. All right, based on what your daughter told the prosecutor, it's going to be dismissed with the right to refile. So if you all don't get along, I guess you could ask the prosecutor to refile it. So your case here is dismissed at this point.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Robert Alexander, case number CRA 06838.
What's his name? Childers.
Shannon Darby is on deck.
So my team was supposed to call and complete his assessment. We did fill the mail bed with the gentleman that's back there, so they said they can get him tomorrow or Sunday, as long as that's okay with you.
All right, Mr. Alexander, and do you take any position on this? What's your feeling about it? Your audio is off. I see you moving your lips, but nothing's coming through. So it's probably the switch on the headphones off.
Okay, we got it.
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, you have to go to OVP?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that.
All right. Well, it's probably not going to happen today. Maybe tomorrow or Sunday.
That's fine.
Okay. I'll order him released, and then the case that I had heard yesterday in Municipal, I put in their provision that it could be changed to an OR bond if he's accepted for treatment. So that'll need to happen. They'll need to make it an OR bond so he can be released. And I'll order him released only to OVP.
Okay.
So they're going to, yeah, they're going to pick you up within the next couple of days. You'll go there for residential treatment. And then I want to see you back here probably the 22nd of September. You'll be finishing up then, it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to set your next hearing before me here in Chesapeake on September 22nd, and we'll make it a review hearing, 9 o'clock.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Take advantage of this and get
Yes,
clean.
sir.
Okay, I'll
Yes, sir.
see you in about a month.
Thank you,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Sheena Darby.
Your Honor,
Yes.
we're still screening her. I will send the results to Officer Cooper.
Okay. Thank you. We'll recall that after we get the results. Okay, for now, that's all we have at the jail. We'll come back to you later when we get Sheena Darby's results.
State of Ohio versus Kennedy Topping, case number CRA 23482. Your Honor, he was in the jail, they brought him up here, and then they took him back.
Yep.
Mr. Smith, that's...
Judge, I was having him brought back. We were going to have a preliminary hearing due to the amount of his bond. There was no way to reduce it. In the meantime, the prosecutor has confirmed he has an APA holder on him. So I think the intention at this point is to nolly directly to the grand jury. Is that?
That's correct, Your Honor. We confirmed that holder and that it's not going to be lifted, so.
No.
All right, 23-482 is going to be nollied to the grand jury. Let's hold up and for a while and give the clerk a chance to catch up.
Sure.
Okay, on Flint Topping, this case will be nollied to the grand jury because he has a holder on other matters, so he's not getting out in any event. So the case here can be nollied. His bond remains at 100,000. Well, no, there is no bond because it's knowledge, so, but he has a holder in any event. But make sure they understand he has a holder. From adult probation, he has a holder from adult probation.
State of Ohio recalls Amanda Burns. Excuse me, that's not correct, Your Honor. That's not correct.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off till the end on her.
You ready for some free trials?
Okay, we'll start pre-trials now.
State of Ohio versus Jamil Santiago, case number PRC 23-528, A, B, C, and D.
Approach, Your Honor.
Yes. Keel?
Your Honor, we had previously discussed this matter with the court, and we determined it was appropriate that if Mr. Cruz Santiago completed the 3-day driving school successfully, that we would recommend a reckless operation. And apparently he's done that course.
And I've got his paper, Your Honor. I apologize. I had printed off copies and meant to bring them with me and did not. But fortunately, Mr. Cruz brought them with him. He completed the Wellness Driver Intervention Program in Columbus. And permission to approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is certificate of completion in Columbus.
All right, if you can make a copy for the court, please.
I will, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Santiago, you have a right to make a statement if you want. You're not required to. Do you wish to say anything?
I'm good, Your Honor.
All right, I'll allow the reduction to reckless operation, 45, 11, 12, or 21.
Is it 4511?
Let me look it up.
21?
Uh, 45, 11, 20. Okay, and I'll change it to 2 points instead of 4. All right, I'll impose a $150 fine on court costs. You need time to pay, you can pay it today.
I do not, Your Honor.
You can pay it today? Okay.
No, I don't have the money today, Your Honor.
All right, I'll give you a final pay date then of November 28th. So if you pay it by then, that's good. If you pay it after that, you'll have been reported for a license suspension. You got till November 28th to pay.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you want a copy of the judgment, you can get it. I'm not putting him on probation, but you can get a copy from probation.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to complete the ALS termination form, so I was going to go to the back and do that and bring those back out for your signature.
Okay, that'll be fine.
What about the vacation?
Be dismissed. Anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Joseph M. Cremines, case number CRB 22658, CRB 22655.
Like injuries or?
No, they shouldn't, they're not in the files. Yeah.
So they graduated, they recommended outpatient, just a place to do it or no. Okay.
This is Mr. Smith's case.
It is, Judge, as I understand it, he has graduated the program. He's been recommended for outpatient. He's been working, he's in Florida. He's not been able to get an outpatient yet. He intends to get an outpatient, but work has kind of gotten in the way. They told you to come for outpatient when he gets done. He's going to be working out of town, out of state actually. But as I understand it, he's done well, he's graduated.
Yes, he's completed residential. He's been recommended for outpatient, but we understand he's working out of town.
Okay. What's the state's position on this?
Your Honor, it's good news that he's completed that inpatient, and hopefully he's gotten a lot out of that, and we'd like to see him continue in the outpatient, and hopefully that can all work well with him working out of town. And so we would like to continue to monitor for a period of time.
He's indicated this is his last out-of-town trip, so he can really participate in outpatient when he gets back. If we can come back maybe in a month, Judge, he'll be back in town, started his outpatient, see how he's doing.
October 2nd?
Yes, be fine, Judge, yes, sir. October 2nd.
October 2nd will be the next hearing,
When you
10 o'clock.
get the outpatient, we'll see how you're doing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge.
State of Ohio recalls Sheila Darby at the Lawrence County Jail.
Okay. Where they are. Okay, do we have results from the urine screen?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, you tested positive for methamphetamine. That's not good. Where are your kids now? They're where with your fiance?
At my home.
In Huntington? So you're not in treatment now?
No, I just relapsed 2 weeks ago.
Where's the last place that you went for treatment?
RRG,
Okay.
Reflex Recovery.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. They're not here today, though. Mr. Webb, you know Nick Webb?
I don't.
You have a West Virginia medical card?
Yes.
When's the last time you were at RRG?
2 weeks ago. I've never met anyone else that comes to court with me, they always just get my dress with me.
I'm sorry, say that again?
They never came to court with me, they just get my dress with me.
Well, you haven't been here for 3 years. I mean, they're fairly new to this court. Were you getting screened for another court?
No, I was, yeah, through West Virginia.
Which court are you getting screened for in West Virginia? Cabell County?
Yeah.
Which judge?
Well, I'm not seeing a judge. I already completed 2 years of inpatient. And I got my kids back and.
Who was the judge on your case?
Ferguson.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'll reach out to Mr. Webb and see if we can get a report.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to check with RRG. They're working in this court, but it has been, they had just started here recently, so they weren't here when you were coming to court previously, but they're working in this court now, although they're not here today for some reason. Usually they are here. So I'm going to check with them and see what kind of history they give me. And then I also know Judge Ferguson very well. So the main thing is we got to get you clean. How old are your kids now?
15, 17, and 4.
Got a 4-year-old. Okay. All right, I'll have you back out. We're going to do some more digging on your history and with RRG, and then I'll have you back out. We'll decide how we're going to proceed. So I'll recall you later in the docket.
All right.
Okay, she's the only person at the jail. If you want to leave her out, when we get a report, we'll come back to her. Okay, we can call her.
State of Ohio versus Amanda Burns, case number CRB 23439.
Your Honor, I originally spoke with the male, and OVP had a male bed and not a female, and I can take a female.
But she's West Virginia Medicaid.
I can take inpatient West Virginia Medicaid.
Okay. That's what we need to do. All right, I'll order her, if state have any position on this.
We don't take.
Okay, I'm going to order you released to Bethesda for inpatient treatment, and you can pick her up today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have somebody come right now and get her.
Okay, from here, so she won't go to jail. Okay, you'll go from here, and then I want to see you in a couple weeks. So September the 8th will be your next hearing. Right back here. Okay, good luck. You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Douglas Jeffries, case number CRB 23438.
So we're going to need an order releasing her to Bethesda. Okay. We need to slow down. No? Ron's fast. You got to slow him down sometimes. Just throw something out and trip him a little bit.
I'm about to. It's cold.
All right, so there's been a discussion with OVP, so yeah.
So we're gonna take him today. The only thing is, Judge, he has his motorcycle out front, so I just want you to make it clear to him. We're gonna follow him so he can take it to OVP. Just make sure that he gets there.
I don't think he should be driving.
Or what, that's why I don't really know what to do.
He tested for amphetamine, fentanyl, ecstasy, methamphetamine, and THC. I don't think we want to put him, yeah, that'd be great if he gets on the motorcycle and has a wreck between here and OVP, then I'll be going to jail, probably. Oh, we can have, with the sheriff's office or somebody, what can we do with it? We can put it in the back.
We'll put it up.
We will secure it.
Yes.
So,
Have it brought to MVP or?
no, it's going to be held here.
That's fine,
So-
and then once you're completed, we'll
If you want to
bring you
run,
to
you're
it.
going to run on foot, not on a motorcycle. So I order the motorcycle secured here. Order Mr. Jeffries released only to OVP. And that's going to happen right now.
Yes.
For inpatient, his next hearing will be September the 8th
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
at 9 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Clarence Mahan, case number CRV 20988, CRV 21187.
It's Mr. Smith's case.
10 or 11. 10 or 11.
So you did for 3 days. Walk off your fines. Yeah.
Saturday on the fair, and then we shall monitor.
Repair the motor.
It's Mason Township.
Okay.
Saturday staff, work on it, so everything's at his house.
On Sheena Darby, can we have the prosecutor's office contact Cabell County? Because I suspect what she's telling us is not true. I texted Mr. Webb from RRG, because she told me that she was referred there by Cabell County, that she completed everything, and she was last at RRG 2 weeks ago and just relapsed. Here's what Mr. Webb says. Sheena Darby was discharged for noncompliance May 18, 2023. When she relapsed, she was set up for appointments after and never returned. So I suspect she may, if Cabell County was aware, she might have a problem over there, because it must have been a felony because Judge Ferguson was her judge, she said, so.
So we need to find out from the,
I would let them know
Circuit
that
Court.
she is in our custody and she had just tested positive for methamphetamine, and she's got 3 kids. 3 minor children that are in her custody. And they all live in Cabell County. She's originally a Lawrence County girl. She grew up here. We had her for years.
we will make contact with the court over there, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if the judge allows it, we do have a bed available for her.
Okay, for a West Virginia resident?
Yes, we can take care of the insurance.
Just tell them we have information that the judge won't be interested in.
All right, Clarence Mahan.
Judge, he has some old cases that you'd advise him to get working on his community service. He says he did 3 days. I think Josh can confirm that. He's going to start tomorrow at Mason Township repairing their mowers and weed eaters, trying to work off his fines. He said he's going to start, now he's got the other done, he's going to start working off the fines. With respect to the pretrial we're here on, we've had several pretrials and we're just not getting anywhere. We need a bench trial.
Okay. Do you have a preference for a date on that?
About 30 days out, just the 29th of September, the 2nd of October, or the 25th of September even.
About October 2nd.
That's fine, Judge.
October 2nd.
Okay, that's 2988. I'll set it for a trial, October 2nd at noon.
Also 19 CRB 75, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't have that case. Let's pull that up. 19 CRB, what was the last 4 digits?
I believe 75. Yes. Well, they're telling me that we resolved that case.
Well, there was one with a different alleged victim we resolved, I think, on a 90 day.
Yes.
I'm not sure which it was.
This case, 19 CRB 75 was set for a trial on October the 5th, 2020, and it was never, and then again on October the 19th. I don't know what happened. I don't have a note to indicate.
Here's what the court's reference is. Comes now, prosecuting attorney moves this court to enter a nollie. The case herein, the complaining party did not appear.
Okay.
I was thinking that was resolved somehow, but it left this one, the 988 case, still pending.
Well, then we will be proceeding on the 2020 case.
And then on 21-187, that's one he was convicted on. There is an entry on it. He's working on that one.
Yes.
So we'll set it for a review hearing on that day.
And it would be at the same time. So you don't see the
Monitoring
9.
it.
Both cases are on that day. You'll review here and make sure you did your, worked off your fine. You knew about
Trial,
it. Yeah.
October 2nd.
I'll get you before then. You're good to go today.
Yeah, because I worked 5 days of that, but then I had to pay your bills.
I got you. I'll get you before then. We'll talk. You're good to go.
Then 21-187 is set for review, and I'll put it at noon also.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
So it's all,
Everything go October 2nd in there.
okay.
Oh, he's got so dismissive.
We could.
Okay, was that not the one we set for trial? I didn't have that file.
Okay, let me go find it.
Want me to stop him real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not have that file. Okay, there's also a domestic violence that was set for pretrial today, but somehow the file did not get out here. I don't have it. That's 23-370, that's the most recent case.
There we go. That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, that's right.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
No, I get, oh, here it is. Yeah. Yeah, so that's when we would be wanting to set for a trial also.
Yeah,
want to, can we set the same
We
day?
can, it's the same victim as what the bills tell you, so that's fine, Judge.
Okay, so it'll be set for trial the same day, October 2nd.
Well, I am too, but I'll get you in the office, we'll talk about it. As long as you're here October 2nd, I think that's your next court date. Yeah, we'll get you in the office. We'll go through all this for a second. Now you're free to go. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Wait on you, so.
No. I'll get you in the office. Is your phone number the same?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
State of Ohio versus Christopher Smith, case number CRB 22741 A and B. Christopher Smith. Did not check it yet.
Christopher Smith is set for pre-trial today, and my notes are we're looking for a better report, so I'm going to assume we didn't get it. Usually if they don't show up, it means there was not a better report.
Are you going in the dark room until, like, is she in jail or do I have to? Okay. I don't know. Okay.
Judge, I assume a warrant will issue. I ask to be held for 7 days. I'll see if I can find him. I don't know that I can, but I will try.
All right, the warrant in 7 days.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Thomas Wisman, case number CRB 2218.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, this is Mr. Wisecup.
Yes, Your Honor.
For pre-trial.
We are. I've spoken with Mr. Heald, and I believe we have a resolution of this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we consulted with the alleged victim in this matter, and she consents to what we're going to propose. We've agreed that we would amend the charge to an M4 disorderly conduct if Mr. Wisman were to plead guilty to that. We would agree further to a suspended jail sentence of 10 days, 2 years probation. And we didn't take any position on fines or any other sanctions.
All right, Mr. Wisecup.
Yes, Your Honor, that is our understanding, and I believe it's my client's intention to enter a no contest plea to that amended charge.
Another thing, Your Honor, if I may add that I'm looking to see, is there a civil protection order?
A civil? I think there is out of West Virginia.
Yeah, from, on my side. I requested a no contact order against her.
All right, so we'd want to put one on this case too, no contact order.
Now, will I still be able to contact my son?
Well, we're just going to ask with respect to her.
Yeah, this is only involving the other.
Okay, 291711 would be what it's amended to.
Yes, Your Honor.
But we need to do it so he can.
And to the amended charge, how does Mr. Wisman plead?
Your Honor, he would enter a plea of no contest.
You wish a reading of the background?
No, Your Honor, we'd wait that.
Mr. Wisman, anything you wish to say before sentencing?
No, sir.
And so I take it, just from the comments, this is a lady that you had a child with?
2 children.
2 children. And you have visitation with those children?
No, I've had custody of the children since 2009, and last year, this child that she has now is 14. So he chose to go live with her because she was in prison and on drugs and everything. So he chose to go live with her, and when he went and lived with her, that's when all this started. Because she's trying to get my other child taken away from me when I've done nothing wrong.
And my understanding, Your Honor, is that any custody and parenting time orders that exist with respect to those children are out of West Virginia.
Yes.
Okay. The children are, at least the one is with her, is that in West Virginia now?
Yes.
Or where? Okay. And you're not having visitation with that child then? Or?
Not until February the 3rd. When, because she had the same DBP on me in West Virginia, and the judge threw it out. Judge O'Hara, or she's female, not Keller, but the other family court judge.
In Cabell County? Or?
Yes, Cabell County. Howard. And I requested that she put in a no contact order with her. And she put in a no contact order. And I just received it last week, and I was out of town for work, so I haven't read it to see if I can contact my son or not.
Well, sounds like a mess. I'm going to order that you not go around her, but if you know, I don't want to keep you from seeing your kids. I think you have a right to see your children.
Yes.
So, but under the circumstances, I think the appropriate thing to do would be to get an order from the court in Cabell County concerning that one child, and the other child's with you?
Yes.
Here in Lawrence County?
Yes.
And is there any kind of visitation orders or anything over here?
Not over here, no. We've never been to court over here over the children. It's always been in West Virginia.
Okay. So there's an order over there with regard to both children?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you probably, if you want to enforce some visitation rights, and I think you probably would be entitled to it, but I can't order that. It's not my jurisdiction either on the subject matter or the venue. I can't, order people in West Virginia to do certain things, to give you certain rights, but you have a right to go into court over there and seek some sort of order, and I think you would be entitled to it, subject to you two staying away from each other. So that's going to just make it harder. It's not impossible for it to happen. Okay, so on the disorderly conduct, was there any recommendation on fines or anything like that?
We didn't take any position on those, Your Honor.
That's correct, 291711.
This is the no contact order they're wanting to sign. It's going to be entered in this case as well.
Okay, I'll impose a $150 fine, court costs. Was it 10 days suspended? Is that what's recommended?
I believe so.
Yes, Your Honor.
10 days suspended. No contact order with Angela Finley, F-I-N-L-E-Y. Subject to visitation orders of the appropriate court. I'll put that in. So you should have a right to see your child.
Well, after February 2nd over there, then, we have a visitation order. And after February 2nd, when no contact order is up, then I'll start seeing him again.
All right. I'll set a review hearing for February 23rd here on this case. We can make this level 5 probation, 2 years of level 5 probation, which means it's non-reporting other than your review hearing date. And that's February 23rd. Check in with Mr. Major in the probation office and get a copy of your judgment entry. Any questions?
How much is court cost?
110.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Daniel Collier, case number TRC 23448, A, B, and C.
Daniel Collier is on teleconference. Let's call him up. And this is Mr. Steyer's case.
Your Honor, I spoke to Mr. Collier. He's not going to be back over to his treatment provider until Monday. I think that the best thing for us to do would be for me to ask for a brief continuance. I'm going to say next week, but of course, obviously, if the court's calendar doesn't support that at the court's convenience. But the idea being for him to, if we set this back for next Friday, that when he goes Monday, ask them to that week send a report so that if it gets sent, it gets put in the file.
And you're agreeable?
Well, I hadn't brought that up, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we're fine.
okay.
So what do I do then?
Well, if the court's gonna grant that continuance, then on Monday, you're gonna ask them to please send an up-to-date report that, covers your treatment up until Monday, and send that to the court at the fax number that we went over earlier. You have the fax number, and make sure that it gets there.
So when I go in to see my therapist.
On Monday.
I send it Monday.
Yes.
Okay. Cause see, here's what happened.
What happened doesn't matter. What matters is what we do going forward. We're gonna, on Monday, get a report sent. And then be on the video Friday.
And it should be up to date, not a
Right.
report from last July, I want a report as of now.
An up-to-date report.
All right.
Ask that that be sent next week, and then be on the call like you were today on Friday.
September 1st.
Thank you.
At what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. All right, sir, thank you. Sorry about all this.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Morgan Johnston, case number TRC 23550 A and B. It's Mr. Holt's case.
And Mr. Holt, you had another client that was here earlier.
Yes, the arraignment, Your Honor. So I had a trial in Common Police Court this morning.
All right, this is set for pre-trial, Morgan Johnson, Mr. Holt's case.
So what do you want to do? Yeah, he refused, and that's fine. JD, okay, that's yours, I put my name on it, that's yours.
Your Honor, I believe we have reached a resolution in this matter. Based upon the anticipated recommended sentence from the state, Mr. Johnson would enter a plea of guilty to the first offense OVI charge.
Is that correct, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Is there a recommended sentence here?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Johnston, I believe, did admit to the trooper that he had been drinking. So, I guess in lieu of an actual refusal, we're willing to suggest to the court that the standard first offense treatment be imposed.
We're fine with that, Your Honor. He does have proof of financial responsibility. It's marked as no on the court, on the ticket that was filed with the court. He's got it. I'm going to grab it. And he's shown verified proof of insurance.
Okay, you can show proof of insurance on the computer. Anything you wish to say, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
No, thank you.
All right, I'll impose a $500 fine, cost, 6-month license suspension. That started the day of the incident.
And Your Honor, he is employed and insured. We'd ask that we give him driving privileges for work and any matters related to this.
Okay, you can have driving privileges for work, community service, go to the dip school. Anything else?
Medical appointments.
I just meet to get my son. That's like an hour away.
Child care, add that. You'll get that driving permit from your probation officer, make sure
Okay,
you ask him about
over
it.
here.
You're going to meet them when we get finished in here.
Okay.
You have a review hearing on February 23rd of next year. If you get everything finished before then, confirm it with probation, you don't have to show up. You got stuff left to do, you have to show up and explain why you didn't get finished, you don't show up, and you got stuff left to do, you get a warrant.
Yes, sir.
On the lane violation, a $10 fine. See Mr. Major in the probation office to the left as you leave the courtroom, and you're free to go.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to do your arraignment now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have another case, to be a simple one. It's Dante Pennington. I believe it was. Okay. If you do the arraignment, get Mr. Collins.
Who is it?
Wesley Collins, Wesley the arraignment.
State of Ohio versus Wesley L. Collins, case number TRC 23-1145, A and B.
Your Honor, we waived reading the charges and entered plea not guilty. Also, we filed an ALS appeal for the state. It's a very good fight.
Yeah, you want to file it. What's the date you want to come back for a pretrial?
Whatever works for the state. I just filed discovery this week, so.
Looks like anything after September 5th is okay.
Okay,
Or September 5th or after.
how about the 15th?
That's fine. September 15th.
Yep.
Pre-trial.
Okay.
He can sign a $1,000 OR bond.
It's just, as long as you shut up, you don't know.
Not guilty plea. Yeah, not guilty plea is entered. I'll give you the file and the ALS form if you want to file that with the clerk. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Dante M. Pennington, case number CRB 23-208. Dante Pennington.
Mr. Pennington, this is plans to be dismissed and will be dismissed upon payment of court costs, and there's a receipt of that.
He did pay them.
Yes, he did. I've got a receipt. State, just to see that.
This shows paid in full. It's an odd amount, 116.
116. I think there was a sheriff for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Okay. All right, case will be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Christopher J. Blevins, case number CRB 2286, TRC 21595 A and B, CRB 21162, CRB 165, CRB 19439 A and B.
Your Honor, Christopher has been compliant with OVP this time around, and he has plans to continue to Southern Hope for recovery further, and he goes there tomorrow.
So this is just an inpatient with you. All right. Mr. Stratton, anything? You would say?
Your Honor, I mean, I've been going at this for a while, so it's whatever you would like to do.
Let's come back maybe 3-4 weeks.
Yes.
September 18th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
September 18th is next time.
State of Ohio versus Charles D. Porter Jr., case number CRB 23338.
Your Honor, we continued this pretrial to today. The prosecutor was going to see if he could get a video. No video was ever provided to the prosecutor. We're talking about doing a 90-day on this, but if he does get a video that's bad, the prosecutor might change his mind on the 90 days, so it's all up in the air, really.
So dismissal in 90 days if there's no further problems, is that the?
Yes, that, and we have been advised by the alleged victim that he had video, and we've encouraged him to bring forth that video, and we haven't as of today. And my only stipulation with Mr. Stratton was that if I did get the video and it really did show something bad, then we're not going to follow through with the 90-day continuance, but otherwise, we will.
Yes.
Okay. November 20th, that's a Monday.
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor.
November 20th. And the next hearing is now, will this be with or without cost if there's a dismissal?
Well, probably with cost.
Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll be able to pay for the costs. All right, you good to go?
Okay. November 20th, is the next hearing, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Adam Bailey, case number CRB 21859 A and B, CRB 2304, CRB 143740 A and B, CRB 12480, CRB 12528 A and C.
Is that 5 cases? 6. Your Honor, he has completed the men's residential program with mid-degrees. So I know he's probably got some community service and fines that he can.
No, I haven't. I just got out Tuesday.
Okay, so he just got out Tuesday.
It actually looks like all his community service is completed.
Okay.
He just has fines. He can work those and the court costs if he wants. So if he can't afford to pay, he can do community service.
No, you gotta do it right here. So you get.
Now, yeah, I think all these are pre-trial and review, so he had already had entries on these. None of them are still pending. So
okay.
We can convert it just to reviews and let him. You're right. Since he's now completed admitted degrees, is that correct?
That's correct. He has graduated our inpatient program, and I do believe he is working on doing outpatient services with us as well.
Okay, very good. I think that sounds like an excellent plan. October 2nd, as a review hearing, 9 o'clock.
If you don't pay, you come back, or you have to 23, 9 o'clock, 23rd, 22nd. Was it the 23rd?
October 2nd.
2nd, I'm sorry.
October 2nd.
9 o'clock. You got fined, you either pay or work off, you get $50 a day. If you want to talk for this. What time do you start? 7:30 here. Okay. Thank you.
You are.
State of Ohio versus Christy D. Booth, case number CRB 23315.
Your Honor, Attorney Scott could not be here today, so this is merely a 90-day dismissal. So I agree to stand up for him.
her then, or?
Your Honor, it's a 90-day dismissal. The state has agreed to dismiss the case today.
I mean, she confirmed that. Is she the special prosecutor, or, oh, you're standing?
Jesse Scott, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
She's the defense counsel, okay.
Oh, no, it's Jesse, it's Jesse Scott, not
Okay.
not Christine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know Christine has something on Monday, sorry about the confusion on that.
All right, Mr. Hill.
Your Honor, I know how confusion can happen. We're looking at a dismissal at some point, but we also, I don't know if the court will recall that there were family members here, and there was a discussion about family counseling.
I see, my note was everybody was going to participate in some mental health counseling.
Yeah, so I don't know what has happened there, but we've left voicemails for Ms. Bush, the alleged victim, the last few days and have not gotten a call back. So I don't know what's happening there.
I'm the only one that showed up. I made the appointments, I called him, I have the text messages, Mr. Scott had the text messages. Jason confirmed the appointments, he never showed up. He had no intention, Emma didn't, nothing, it was just me. I'm still seeing the therapist.
Where is that? Where are you?
In Ironton,
But what's the agency?
Path.
Path, okay. I did not have a note that it was going to be dismissed today, so.
Oh, that's what Attorney Scott told me this morning, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
My last note from the last session, which was in June, a couple months ago, counseling for mental health for all parties.
That was, no, it was before that we were supposed to do it. And then we came, Jason and Emma didn't show up. They came in and said that they thought it would be best if we didn't all go together because they didn't show up. And then it was going to move to be dismissed today.
What's the state's position?
We wanted a successful completion, and if she's going to Path now, that's good, and hopefully she's getting something valuable out of it. I would like to find out from Emma and whoever else, forget the other person's name that was going to go to the counseling, but I'd like to know.
Emma Bush.
And Jason, I guess, is the other one. I want to know from them if they've been doing some counseling too. I know that they're not subject to a court order, but that was, it appeared anyway, when we were in court previously, that everybody agreed that that would be a great resolution for this and help the family move forward.
Your Honor, this is not my case. And I was merely told this by Attorney Scott this morning that this is going to be dismissed. But I tell you one thing, Your Honor, when we sat in conference room and we discussed this and we come out on the record and I say this to you, it's because we've already discussed it. Now, the prosecutor, once again, is changing the story and changing the circumstances. It'd be nice that we had that discussion in the back instead of have this discussion out here.
Well,
Do you have the psychiatrist's report? Do you have the psychiatrist's report from when I went?
I mean, if he agrees to something in the back, we come out here, it's very easy, 9-day dismissal, that's what we talked about in the back, that's what we're going to do when we walked out here, that's what I expressed to the court, exactly what the prosecutor expressed to me in the back. Walk out here, and the prosecutor, once again, changes the story as to what we talk about in the back.
well, I'm not a party to that, and it has to be an agreement. If there's not an agreement, then, I can set it for a trial.
I know, Your Honor, it's just frustrating to me that we now have to come out here and have a huge discussion. She's crying because everything's sort of worked out, and then the prosecutor takes back what he says once again.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, all I have, my notes,
it frustrates me, it frustrates the clients.
I did not make a note that there was going to be a dismissal. So, let's continue it until, when can Mr. Scott be available?
I'm going to continue this. Do you have the report, the psychiatrist?
Ma'am, you are out of order. Ma'am, you want to get in the back? Be quiet. You're not in charge of this. I am.
We don't have a psychiatrist's report. We sure would like to have a report from the Path. Even if Path said, you know what, she's done really well, and we feel like that we've done everything we can for her, that might allow us to make such a decision today. However, given what, and I
No.
I'm not going to address what Mr. Stratton said. I want to hear from the victim as to what they have done or haven't done also.
Not here today, let Jesse get to him, let Jesse deal with it.
Okay.
Okay. 'Cause he
Let's
knows-
have the complaining party here at the next hearing, or it's subject to being dismissed.
Did you want to do that sooner than later, Your Honor, or you done that?
When's Mr. Scott going to be available? Do you have any idea about that?
I don't.
I mean, here's the other, he didn't ask for leave not to, I mean, you guys do this to me all the time. He didn't ask for leave not to be here, to have you stand in.
Your Honor.
Then I have no idea when he's going to be back. Is he on duty?
There was an emergency this morning, Your Honor. He
Okay.
did call the court. He did talk to the ladies about the emergency. And then I had talked to him about standing up for him because he had that emergency. I don't know what the emergency was, Your Honor.
Consider that a motion for a continuance on his part, since he
Yes,
can't
Your
be
Honor.
here. And I have no idea when he's available, so I'll just set it for a date convenient to the court.
Yes.
September the 5th.
September 5th. Yes, Your Honor. September 5th.
We will ask and issue subpoenas or a subpoena for the alleged victims, and we're going to want to know what has transpired. We also, if Ms. Booth has records she wants us to see, we want to see them.
Submit them. I mean, Pat does provide records.
I have it right here on my phone that I sent to my
Ma'am,
lawyer
that's it.
directly from.
September 5th is the next hearing. Call the next case.
State of Ohio versus Grant Cruel, case number CRA 23498. Grant Cruel. You're not checking in, Your Honor.
This is Mr. Steyer's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, Mr. Cruel was,
He's supposed to turn himself in Cabell County.
yes, I'm gonna,
Can you check to see if the warrant's been withdrawn?
I'm not getting very good, data in here.
Are we sure he's not in the jail? Because I don't see a bond posted. And the bond was $10,000. He said he could post a bond, but there's no bond in the file.
He's not showing on our jail list, Your Honor.
Can we find out how he got out?
What's his name?
Grant Cruel, C-R-U-L. So let's recall this. If the warrant's been withdrawn, that would be wonderful. That means we don't need to pursue it, but we need to know what happened, how he got out, did he report to Cabell County?
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Ronnie Lee Gibson, case number CRA 23375.
And this is Mr. Steyer's case set for pretrial.
Your Honor, this is one in which there was a got the wrong paper. Okay, there was a kind of a cross-filing situation in which it was alleged that Mr. Gibson shot a little dog. Apparently, it wasn't hurt too bad. It was on his property. The other fella, who was the owner of the dog, shot a gun, and he actually has already pled guilty. And really, I think under the circumstances, and I think that we addressed this in the last hearing, that probably the fact that the dog was on his property and he claims that it was a menacing type situation from the dog, that he might not be guilty of what he's been charged with because of that.
So you're going to dismiss?
We will, with the payment of court costs.
Well, that wasn't discussed, so I didn't discuss that with him. Can you pay the court costs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Then I could pay before I leave today.
All right.
You'll probably wait a couple minutes for the
Payment
paperwork to
policy.
get back there. So just give it about 10 or 15 minutes, then talk to the clerk.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Am I excused to go?
Well,
You are.
you
Yes,
are.
sir.
Go see the clerk.
Yes, sir.
You are.
Ready for preliminaries.
Okay, preliminary hearings.
State of Ohio versus Austin T. Hawthorne. Case number CRA 2357, CRV 2358, CRV 2843, CRV PRC 191305A and B.
Austin Hawthorne is on teleconference.
Yeah, this is Mr. Morford's case. He's having surgery today. I hope he called the court.
He did.
Okay. I'm going to stand in for him.
He did.
Okay.
Let me know.
Okay.
Rather than just not show up.
Right,
Say
right.
nothing.
Whenever you have the chance, it's not a match. He is at TCC the last time.
It looks like the notes, he was at TCC last time, but I don't have an updated report. I hope, I'm sorry?
John Major should have got one planner in my way.
All right, we need Mr. Major to come in the courtroom. Are you still at TCC?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you get a report on Austin Hawthorne?
They may have emailed me, Your Honor. I'll have to look at mine. I don't have it on me.
He says, do you know how it was sent, Mr. Hawthorne?
Email.
I'll get it printed off.
Okay, we'll
I'll call
recall
it,
you here in
yes.
a few minutes. We're gonna let him look for the report, but I don't have it as of yet. Yeah. Okay. We need to find out if he reported to Cabot County. And is there, how did he get out? Is there a bond? I don't have a bond in the file. Can we find out how he got released?
State of Ohio versus Willie Linville. Case number CRA 23157, CRV 16350. Mr. Steyer's case.
I believe it's my case, Your Honor.
It was Cyrus, now it's Xavier. Yes. It's a good report for Mr. Linville.
Thank you, sir.
Sounds like things are going well. You're going to be looking for a job now, so.
Well, where I'm at, I am my Collins Career Center. By the mileage that we have to have for us to go to get to work, it's kind of really difficult. I actually have a pressure washer business at my house that I just haven't been working because I'm not, able to be home to the days to work. So as soon as I'm out, I have a job.
Okay. But you're going to start that back up then, or
Yes,
what are
sir.
you going to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Continue to monitor then? Is that what you wish to do, Mr. Hill?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sometime in October?
Sure, Your Honor. How about the 13th?
That's fine. All right, good work, Mr. Linville. Keep it up.
Thank you for the chance, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
October 13th is your next hearing. 10 o'clock. Oh, they think you got it? Okay. On accrual, then we can dismiss it. He was picked up by Cabot County.
State of Ohio versus David Pepper, case number CRA 23405, CRB 23406.
It's not a Cincinnati David Pepper.
So I say that's the former chairman. Mr. Steyer's case.
Oh, yeah, this is him.
Saw him, he's got a book out or something now. I've seen him on some talk.
Degrees of autocracy or something like that.
Your Honor, Mr. Pepper's brother called me yesterday and reported that he is incarcerated in Cabell County. He has a court date for Tuesday. I don't know if that's a situation where he's going to get out of jail on Tuesday or what, but what I'd like to do is ask to continue this case 1 week so that if he gets out, he can come in here, and if he doesn't, at that point, the state can make a decision on whether they want to keep the case here, take it on to the grand jury, or so forth. But at this point, he's not available today.
What says the state?
We're not opposed to that. As a matter of fact, it might be a situation, it will be a situation in which we're going to want more input from the victim on this. The victim is a victim in another case that's actually in trial in common pleas court today. And so we would have had her here for the preliminary, but she's subpoenaed as a witness in that trial. So we don't oppose coming back next week, and we can try to have her.
And I say next week, but if that day is not convenient to the court, a day convenient to the court. But my point was just not to, that we weren't asking for long, just long enough to maybe get him out of jail and get it back over here.
We can do the 1st or the 5th.
Either of those is fine, whichever's better for the
Let's
courts.
make it 5th, and that's better. Gives us a little more time to figure it out. September 5th is next year.
If he shows up on the 1st, I could just tell him to come back.
State of Ohio versus Andrew Curry, case number CRA 23464, A, B, and C, CRB 23463, CRB 23291, CRB 2361, CRB 22351.
May I approach your Honor?
Yes.
This is,
I think this is the one where I did the order for the dog to stay at the, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's being cared for at the animal shelter.
And Your Honor, we were originally set for Monday, but I think I think we were set for Monday on the prelims, and then the review might have been set for today, and he showed up here today, and there was some confusion on that, so I asked him to go ahead and put everything onto the docket today, since he was here, and we had a report. The report looks positive, Your Honor. I would ask that we continue to track his progress on this. This isn't one that I think we'd be ready to do anything with today. Part of what we have pending is a open dumping. That's something that has to be cleaned up, and obviously that's on hold while we deal with the treatment element of things, which is another reason just to kind of keep moving here if we can. I'd like to ask if we come back on the 11th on this, if that would be a reasonable time frame.
Yes.
Is the 11th a Monday? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Friday is a Tuesday, or the 5th is a Tuesday, that's why my math was off.
Is the 11th, Monday is the 11th.
Oh, actually, I'm not going to be here the 11th. Your Honor, I talked to him about the 11th, I'm not going to be here that day, so I'm not here the 15th or the 11th, so 18th, Your
Your Honor,
Honor.
I'm not going to be here on the 18th, and I would prefer to be here. And this was scheduled for this coming Monday, and we would have been prepared to talk about this today. It's a bad situation. I didn't realize that he's in treatment, but we also have this property that's got to be cleaned up, and I think we have.
Is there a lady that's working on that too?
Yes.
My fiance, yes, sir.
Yeah, Your Honor, and he's got the property cleaned up.
Okay. Was he taken out there to do some work?
Yes.
From your facility?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe you can have someone check on that then.
Well, I talked to the enforcement officer this morning. And maybe he hasn't seen it in the last day or two.
When was that work done?
Last week, last Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
I even had the whatever bagged up hauled off. I mean, my family members took care of it.
Maybe we need to just call and come back on Monday then, Your Honor.
I mean, it's up to the state.
Well, yeah, I'm going to send another message to the officer saying that he says it's been cleaned up. The officer doesn't believe that it has been. He also says that he had warned Mr. Curry many times before he wrote the ticket. So, yeah, we'd like to come back.
All right, I'll put it back on the docket for Monday, August 28th.
So we're sticking with Monday. We'll be back Monday.
Working at the house, he's got the picture on his phone.
Your Honor, if I may, he's approached me about wanting to see his dog, and he's got an ankle monitor on. It's kind of a hard thing to set up.
Yeah.
So I advise him no, but I want to bring it in front of you because with an ankle monitor, it's hard to do.
I'm fine with you making that call. August 28th will be the next
If there's someone there that has the pictures, you've got my cell phone number, just ask them to text those to me.
Okay.
And we'll, okay, and we're sticking with Monday then?
Yes.
So we'll come back Monday and we'll get those pictures, okay? And we'll get those to the prosecutor.
Yeah, I got something to say, man.
Well,
I know that.
As always, I've got to put it on the record that I'm advising you to be careful what you say, and then you as an adult can say anything you need.
I mean, I'm working hard on going straight in this program, doing what you're doing. I mean, they take me to meetings. I know I tell you to appear, you put me on the monitor. And, you know what I mean? I like to be able to, like, visit with my outside. I can't even go on past it at this present, but I'm working on it. I know I have a problem. I'm going straight and forward. And I'm doing everything to probably clean this house up, you know what I mean? But only 1 hour, because they got to take their worker with me except for 1 hour. That's all they get. My dog is my life, man. That's all I really care about. Honestly, my dog is my old lady.
I thought that other lady was your girlfriend.
My fiance, I mean, I care about him. That's my son, though. That's my son.
Well, it's a good thing she's not here to hear this.
She knows, too.
She knows where she is in the pecking order. She got the dog first, then her.
She's the same way with me.
The dog comes first for everybody.
Yeah.
Is it the same dog?
Yes.
It is.
So the dog's being taken care
The
of.
dog's being
Yeah,
taken
but I
care
can't.
of.
And I understand missing your dog.
Well, here, Mr. Curry, let me say this. You've actually done better than I thought you would.
I
You
know.
surprised me.
I knew I'm gonna put all y'all wrong. I'm missing right now, making money for roofing. This is the time for roofing and all the construction work to be doing. I'm missing all that money to be paying my court fine. With this monitor on, I can't do nothing. I mean, I can't.
Well,
I just my family. I can't even go see my
I wasn't
family.
convinced you wouldn't run before without the
I knew you was gonna think I was
Okay,
gonna run.
I've heard you, so now listen to me. My turn to talk.
Okay, sir.
Typically what I do on a case like this, and I've been proven wrong before, I give people a chance, to show me, and I feel like you're kind of committed to getting in recovery, getting clean, and staying there. And once I feel like you're really committed to it, and you're not going to run, I'll take the ankle monitor off. But the problem is, I've done that quite a few times, and people still run as soon as I take the ankle monitor off. So, I'm not totally convinced you're there yet, but you're on the right track. So just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually you're going to get more privileges. You'll get to do more stuff. That's what's going to happen over time.
Yes.
But you had a really bad problem. And what's in the community is fentanyl is killing people. So, quiet, listen. This is my thinking. I'm trying to keep you alive. And that's much more important than you seeing your dog. You're going to see your dog eventually if you stay alive and get clean, and you're going to have a better life. Your family's going to have a better life. But we got to really button down and work on this issue with your recovery. That's got to be the dog's down the list. Number one is getting clean and staying clean. And that'll be better for your dog, your fiance. You got kids?
No, sir.
No kids? You got family?
2 left, yeah.
Who are they?
My brothers.
Brothers, okay? It'll be better for them. It'll be better for we all benefit. The whole community benefits when you get clean, because you're going to add more positive stuff into the community than taking stuff out when you're high and when you're not yourself and you can't do what you need to do. So you get clean, and it's better for all of us, but the real big impact is those people that are closest to you. So this has got to be number one. And when I'm convinced that you're there, then I'll take the ankle monitor off. You can blame some of the people who came before you. They blazed the trail by showing me that
I know.
sometimes I don't get it right.
I know.
Sometimes I take the ankle monitor off too soon.
That's fine.
So we'll see you on Monday. But you're on the right track. I think you're doing good.
All right, thank you.
Just keep it up.
State of Ohio recalls Austin Hawthorne, case number CRA 2357, CRB 2358, and others.
Okay, I do have a report for Mr. Hawthorne now. And he's there. Negative drug screens, going to all his scheduled meetings. Taking college courses online. Going to 12-step meetings. What do you do? It says you're doing some sports activities. What are you doing there?
Ride on bike.
Well, I approve of that. Just got to be careful out there because there's a lot of idiots on the road. You got to pay attention 100% of the time. What about, I understand they got a CrossFit there at the counseling center. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You ever do that?
No, sir.
I think that'd be a good thing to get involved with. It's free, I think. If you're going to the counseling center, you get to go there for free. So that'd be a great deal. That's about $150 a month if you're paying for it on your own.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're doing really good. This is a great report. I'm happy to see it.
I have some dates, Judge. You want about a month out?
Yeah.
I've got the 25th and 29th of September or the 2nd of October.
Let's do 2nd of October.
I'll tell Mr. Moore.
25th's getting pretty crowded.
Sure, I'll tell him the 2nd.
Okay, Austin, good job. We'll see you on October 2nd. Keep doing what you're doing. Go check out the CrossFit. Start easy because you'll get sore, I'll guarantee you. The first time you go, you'll have ice packs on the next day. October 2nd, 10 o'clock is the next hearing.
Ready for some sentencing.
Sentences.
State of Ohio versus Keith W. Cooper, case number CRB 21288.
Your Honor, he was here at community service for 2 days. He was
Did not check into that.
But didn't show up today.
I called for it, but it's been a couple hours ago.
Okay, he's got 7 days to get in before warrant goes out.
I'll let Mr. Wolford know.
State of Ohio versus John F. Wright, case number CRB 23113. He's not checking.
Oh, and on Keith Cooper, he has a bond. Yes.
Is Donald Dickus here? Yeah. Is Joshua Clay here?
So on Keith Cooper, I'll set bond forfeiture September 18th.
State of Ohio versus John F. Wright, case number CRB 23-113.
Judge, on this one, I think it's incorrectly listed on the sentencing docket. It should be a pretrial. He's not entered a plea. I think as the court is aware, you may see from the court's notes, he's got a probation violation pending in front of Judge Ballard. It was set yesterday. Mr. Wright did not appear, but sent me a letter from the Ohio State University Medical Center, the Wexner Medical Center, that he was having a procedure done. He was in the hospital. I don't know when his discharge date is. It was undetermined as of yesterday. Obviously, I can't enter any type of plea in this case with a probation violation still pending. I would ask we come back. I'm here October 2nd, give him time to get out of the hospital. And it might resolve itself in common pleas.
Mr. Hill?
Word among the Mr. Smith and others in the prosecutor's office was that they anticipated the common pleas court to issue a warrant for him for not showing up on Wednesday, but Mr. Smith saved Mr. Wright's bacon, I guess. And
Well, to a point, there's an order put on that Judge Bauer did not issue a arrest warrant. He didn't want him changing the bed while they were doing their procedure, but he did say he's got 8 hours upon discharge to report to Lawrence County Jail, or a warrant will issue, but I don't know when he's getting out of the hospital. So I anticipate before the 2nd, he will be back in Judge Ballard's court, which may...
What's that? Are you here the 5th?
Of September, October?
5th.
Oh, yeah, this,
September.
yes.
Let's just put it on there, and then if he's not showing up, I'll issue a warrant.
Okay.
And it'll be as a pretrial.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
What, I'm sorry, that, September 5th?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not here. I could be about blue jeans. Because if he does show up, we would just probably pick a trial date, because he can't enter a plea. If I can do that, I could be available.
we would just as soon it go out farther.
Okay.
When?
Then I could do the 18th.
He'll be appearing in common pleas pretty quickly, won't he?
He should be, unless some tragedy befalls him. He stays in the hospital longer than we think. I'm here the 15th or 18th of September. It's a little bit further out.
And I'm gone those days, but I don't know whether I'm necessarily needed on.
The 15th, you are here, right?
No, I'm gone 15th and 18th.
About the 22nd, 25th, 29th.
It's not one that's...
Or the 5th, I could
You don't really need to be here for this.
No, I don't think
We just want to see if he's going to show up.
Right.
Right.
September 15th,
I'll put it down, Judge. Thank
10
you.
o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Sierra Helms, CRB 23-418.
All right, this was set for a trial today, but I've been informed there's been some agreement reached.
There it has, Judge. We have, we were prepared to go forth with trial, that we had a witness here that I think was certainly favorable to my client. I understand that Mr. Hill has talked to the alleged victim, who does not oppose a 90-day continuance and dismissal without costs at that time.
That's correct. The complaining party was here earlier, and I spoke with him at length about the situation. He and Ms. Helms have a couple children together, and there's been some difficulties between them, I think, with respect to their parenting, and I think that there may be some sort of a court proceeding about visitation and custody and all that, and this arose in the midst of that, and given the alleged facts and the circumstances, Mr. Lee agreed that a 90-day continuance would be appropriate, and because of the circumstances, we would not be seeking the court costs upon the 90 days with no further problems. But there need to be no further problems, too.
I don't, it was just charged with trespass. There will not be, correct? You have no reason to go in his house.
No.
All right, I'll set it for November 27th. It'll be dismissed then without costs, as long as there's no further problems, and she doesn't have to appear under the same circumstances. As long as there hasn't been any problems, she can not appear, and the case will be dismissed then.
Judge, she did have a suspended license situation I think you pointed me to last time, where I said I would help her out with it. I think we put them both on today.
Yeah, got a DUS.
The DUS Phillips. And as I understand it, she's taking her driver's test in Kentucky on the 15th of September. So I
didn't get the file,
okay, I'm sorry, you don't have it.
but we can go ahead and set it. You
Sometime
want to
after.
continue it?
Yeah, she's the 15th of September. Is when she's taking her driver's exam in Kentucky, so sometime that following week, 22nd, 25th, 29th September.
29th,
Be fine, Judge.
September 29th will be, September 29th is on that, that's 22, 27, 11.
Right. Thank you, Judge.
So the DUS was a different date? Yeah. What's that?
State of Ohio versus Trevor Dement, case number CRA 23380, CRB 21167, CRA 2630, CRA 2321, CRB 2322, CRB 19667, CRB 19570.
Okay, I got a note from the OVP is saying that Trevor had the report himself.
Yes. And I've got a report from OVP and one from Pat. If I can take a quick, I'm going to go ahead and let this
And I
guy
have his drug screen and it's appropriate.
at the same time.
I went to the, let you know, I went to the Huntington office. They have a later group 2 times a week. It's a lot easier for my schedule.
Okay.
And I started with Pat too, so
Very good.
I go today.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Okay, so you're starting path today.
Yes.
Did you make copies of it? Okay.
Okay.
And I also brought in the one you were bring in last time this year.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is appropriate, so it looks like things are going well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Neal.
Well, I've just been handed a charge that is alleged to have occurred just in the last couple of days. And
Yeah.
it is
Don't speak.
domestic violence charge. That would be a
Well, I
felony.
guess I spoke too soon.
So I've signed it, we're going to file it, and we'd ask that he be required to stay so we can
Yeah.
have a
Do the
initial
arraignment.
hearing on that. Yes.
Why don't you discuss it with Mr.
We'll
Steyer?
recall the case. I'll talk to you
Recall.
out there. In a couple minutes. Okay, I've got a couple more to go through here. Just wait for me in the lobby.
State of Ohio versus Hannah Settle, case number TRC 23430.
Mr. Steyer's case, it's on the docket as a sentence.
I have this also from the dev class. Lydia High School.
Okay.
That's the certificate. She said she was going to send it to the court too.
Your Honor, she has a little card showing that she's completed the DIP program
They actually
and,
filed a report with the court.
okay, good. I was just, I didn't know if you needed a copy of this or if you had something.
I have the report.
Will you tell me what you want, and I'll make it happen. I said, you tell me what you want, and I'll make it happen.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we do need to do that.
That's the first one I've seen from Scioto County.
Yeah, it's very hard to read. It does look like she successfully completed that program. And the report from Mahajan is good. Are we ready to do sentencing now, or what's the state's position on it?
Your Honor, back when she entered a guilty plea on June the 30th, we discussed with the court the fact that there were some evidentiary issues which would cause us to be looking at it as a first offense, irrespective of her completion of the treatment or her progress in the treatment. And because of that, we have no problem with the sentencing today, and we believe that it's appropriate to treat it as a first offense.
All right. One thing, and I think this was probably discussed previously, Ms. Suttles, if I go ahead and sentence you on this, it's going to go on your record. If you get another one, it probably could be and would be, I think, under most laws, considered a third offense. So substantially higher penalties could be imposed. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Steyer, either you or Ms. Suttles have anything you want to say before I do the sentencing?
Your Honor, just recognize that she has made great progress since this event happened, and congratulate her on that, and also that state that she recognizes that she has a long way to go in her treatment and in her sobriety.
She did take a portable breath test and refused the intoxilizer. So I'm not going to, usually if you refuse everything, I would give you a $1,000 fine. So I'm going to make it $600 based on the facts. It was the first offense. $600 fine. Court costs, 20 days in jail suspended, 180-day jail or driver's license suspension starting the day of the incident, 5 days community service, 2 years for level 4 probation. Yeah, she's completed, she's completed the difficult, that's completed. I'm going to order she complete treatment with Municipal that you've already started. Review hearing, I will make November the 13th.
You're not going to have everything done.
That'll be at 9 o'clock.
The more you've got done, the better.
Does she want any kind of driving privileges?
Yes, we'd like to have driving privileges, Your Honor, if we can.
Limited?
Yes, limited.
I'll give her limited driving privileges for employment, community service, treatment, court, anything else?
I think that covers it, Your Honor.
Okay, she's to see Mr. Major in the probation office, and she can
Thank you.
leave. She does not. That was it.
Hang on. Wait for me to go on and talk to you for a second. Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Sheila Darby at the Lawrence County Jail. Case numbers CRB 1449, CRB 13963, CRB 812463, CRB 101029. Sheila Darby at the Lawrence County Jail. State of Ohio versus Crystal McMillan, case number CRB 16688.
All right, this is on a failure to appear for a review hearing back in June 30th, on a theft offense. And you've got a bond up with Mr. Sowers. I understand he contacted you.
Yes.
Okay. You admit or deny you missed your hearing back in June?
Yes, I admit.
Do you have an explanation?
I don't. Well, really, I just didn't have anyone to watch my kids to get in to do my community service. Their dad just recently got out of the STAR program, and he's really the only person I got to watch them, so I can get it done now. I just was scared.
Okay. You've got 10 days of community service to do.
Okay.
So, can you be out tomorrow?
Yeah, Saturday's
Tomorrow
perfect.
morning at 7:30.
Okay.
Be out for community service. I'll cancel the warrant. Mr. Cooper, this is Crystal McMillan. She's going to be here in the morning for community service. Set your next review hearing for October 2nd,
Okay, thank you.
9 o'clock.
Thanks.
And I'll let Mr. Sowers know that you appeared, so he won't be hauling you off to jail.
State of Ohio recalls Trevor Dement, case number CRA 23514, CRA 23380, CRB 21167, and others.
So this is for arraignment on a new charge.
Your Honor, we would waive reading and ask to have the preliminary hearing set. We would waive the 15-day requirement to have it set at a time that's convenient to the court.
What's the state's position on bond for Mr. Dement?
Mr. Dement, he's not in a residential program, is he?
No, he's not.
Allegation indicate, and of course we understand they're just allegations. Considering the fact that he's already before the court on other matters, we have some concerns. We're going to want a protection order, first of all, and that brings into question where he's going to stay.
He doesn't stay at the location where this allegedly happened, Your Honor. And she's not here at this time, but I'm advised that Mr. Dement's mother, who was a witness to the alleged altercation, is on her way here. I'm going to speak to her. If we ended up in a situation where we would have had a preliminary hearing, which of course if he's not in jail, we wouldn't actually have one, but I would probably I'd probably speak to her and ask her to speak to the prosecutor, indicates that there may be a self-defense. No, you're not going to speak right now. That there might be a self-defense element to this, that perhaps, the prosecutor could speak, or victim's advocate could speak to her, get a little bit of more information. It may be something we want to look at before we decide to take this to the grand jury anyway.
Or bond, on the issue of bond could be important. Is she coming now, or?
My understanding is she's on her way.
She is.
Okay, what else we got?
I have a trial set, but we're not going to be going forward.
Let's put this off and see if she arrives. So I'm going to recall Mr. Dement and give her.
Okay, thank you. Just hang tight.
It's his mother that's coming?
Yes.
Yeah, here, hang on.
She's not the alleged victim, but I guess she could be
She
helpful.
lives at the same residence, though, I think.
Yeah, she was there.
No, please don't speak about the fact of the case.
State of Ohio versus W. Cooper, case number CRB 21288, PRC 21121, A and B.
And I think that this is
So we need to use that. Okay, there's that.
All right, Mr. Cooper is here now. He was
And
late.
here's the news that you want, right?
this is
Mr. Cooper was here the 2 days he was ordered to be here for community service.
Okay. Did Mr. Sowers contact you? How do you know?
I contacted him yesterday because I was in Cincinnati, sir, doing some work.
And I let him know that I might be late this morning and stuff like that there.
All right, well, your attorney is not here, so I'm just going to continue. And you've been working out of town?
Yes, sir.
You know when you'll be back in town in the next month?
I do not, sir.
They just change it?
We don't ever have a set schedule.
Week to week?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just go about a month out, if we can be here soon.
I bet you're pretty good.
September 29th. September 29th will be your next hearing. It'll be a pretrial 10 o'clock. And let's see. So you still owe some community service, looks like. So get some more community service done in the next month. We'll see you on September 29th at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And I'll let Mr. Sowards know. I think I had texted him, but he had not appeared. So.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, I have. So I'll cancel, I said there would be a warrant on Ken, so that's canceled also. And a bond forfeiture.
State of Ohio recalls Sheena Darby at the Orange County Jail.
Ms. Darby is in custody at the jail. She had warrants for failure to appear. I contacted RRG, Mr. Webb. Here's what I got back, because I asked him for a report. He says Sheena Darby was discharged for non-compliance on May the 18th when she relapsed. She was set up for appointments after that and never returned. Does that sound right to you? So it wasn't, you didn't give me the truth the first time around, because you told me you relapsed 2 weeks ago. You relapsed a long time ago. It wasn't May 18th. Right? And I went back and looked at your file. You haven't been here since 2020, and guess what? I went back and looked at your file in 2020. You tested positive for methamphetamine then. You were in treatment, but there was a time when you tested positive for meth then, and guess what? You tested positive for methamphetamine today. The only thing is, I'm going to take your word that you were off of it for a while, because if you've been doing it for 3 years, you wouldn't look as good. You look pretty good. If you've been doing it for 3 years, you'd look 25 years older than you do now. I mean, serious. That's bad stuff. So we got to get you off this. You got 3 kids. You can't be doing methamphetamine with 3 kids.
I know, Judge.
So how are we going to make this work? You tell me, how can you get off of it?
Well, I can get a detox. I can get a OBP.
You think you need detox then?
I don't think I need it now. I think I have a detox.
How long you been in the jail now?
4 days.
Okay. Well, who's taking care of your kids?
My fiance.
And I'm going to, since you say fiance, I'm going to assume he's not the father of these kids?
He's the father of my 4-year-old.
Okay, but the 2 older kids, he's not?
No.
Is the father in the picture for those 2 older kids?
No.
Is anybody helping you with the kids other than your fiance? What about your mom? It seems like your mom was in the picture way back when I had you before.
Yeah, she's in prison right now.
Okay. Well, I want to see you get treatment, but I'm afraid that you are not going to take it seriously.
I most definitely will. Can you trust me to go back to RRG?
I don't know. What if I put an ankle monitor on you? Then that ups the ante. Because if you cut the ankle monitor off, you're going to have a felony.
I would never do that.
Okay, I'm going to order you released to outpatient with RRG, and I'm only doing that because you have the kids. If it wasn't for the kids, I'd probably make you go to inpatient. But you're going to have an ankle monitor, so I want to make sure you understand. Because this is serious business. Because I've had people do this before, and I always give this talk, and they still do it. If you think you would be tempted to cut the ankle monitor off, you'd be better off just staying in jail. Because you will go to prison if you cut the ankle monitor off. It'll be out of my control. You'll go on to the common police court. They're going to treat it like an escape from the jail. Because they'd like to make examples out of people. Everybody that cuts their ankle monitor off gets 3 years in prison. So whatever you do, do not cut the ankle monitor off. Now the problem is going to be if you don't do what you're supposed to, or you don't show up, then they're going to know exactly where you are. They're just going to come and pick you up. It's easy.
That's fine, that's fine. I don't care to do exactly what I'm telling them to do.
Okay, but do not cut the ankle monitor off. Because you cannot, unless you're going to leave and never come back, and go, you're going to have a warrant that's going to be good in all 50 states and most countries. So you can't take your kids and go to Argentina, right?
I don't plan on it.
Well, I haven't had anybody yet said, Judge, I'm going to cut my ankle monitor off, but you know what? I've had a few do it. Even though I give them this same speech, they still do it. And there's people here in the courtroom that know. I had one guy that cut his ankle monitor off because he wanted to go to a party in Charleston. He was out for what, 2 weeks maybe? You got 2 weeks, and he went to prison for 3 years. Is it worth 2 weeks free for 3 years in prison? And a party? It must have been a heck of a party. It's not. And you got more reason. I don't think he had any kids. You've got 3 kids that are dependent on you, and they're looking at you and what you're doing, and the most important thing you can do is get clean for them. You got teenagers, they've already decided what they're going to do. The die's already cast with them. We know that from state. If they're going to use now, they've already decided whether they're going to use or not. But this 4-year-old, that kid's in the balance. And he's going to know, is it a he or she? Boy. We know from studies, if you use, the chances are you just increase the odds that your kids are going to use. You don't want that, do you? This is more than just about you. It's bigger than just you. We got 3 lives that are affected by what you do. Well, there's more than that, but those 3 are really affected. I mean, you affect your fiance, you affect other people in your family more closely. You affect everybody in the community when you use drugs. Because we're not getting the benefit of what the positive things are that you could do if you were off drugs. So it's a drag on everybody, but it's a bigger impact on your kids. Huge impact on them. So that's what you need to be thinking about the next time you want. There's going to be tough times. I'm not going to say this is easy, and I've been through this with you for years. You'll do really good for a while, and then you relapse. The next time you think about relapse, and think about your kids. Okay? So I'm going to order you to back to RRG. I'm going to let them know that you're coming. And Mr. Webb usually is here, and he'll give me a report if you show up or not. And do you have a cell?
I do.
What is it?
It's 304 903 3850.
Okay. I'm going to give that, do you know Nick Webb? He's a Fairlawn guy. He graduated from Fairlawn. He's about the same age as you are, I'm guessing. You went to South Point, right? So you're going to have that in common, and he had a substance use problem for a long time, but he's been clean for quite a while now, and he works at RRG. So I'm going to give him your information, I'm going to give him your cell phone, and he's going to be looking for you.
Okay.
And you got to make it work this time. Serious business. But you're not getting out till you get an ankle monitor, and I don't know when that'll be, because a lot of times it's hard to get an ankle monitor on Fridays. So it might be Monday before you get out. We'll try. We'll contact them and see if they can get one put on. But I don't trust you to do this without an ankle monitor. I'll set your next hearing . Let's make it September the 5th. That's a Tuesday. Labor Day is on the 4th, so there's not going to be court on Monday, September 4th, but there will be court on the 5th. So that's enough time for you to get out, go back to RRG, and me get a report that you've been there. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to report you to Judge Ferguson at this point. But if you don't follow through and do this, I'm going to call him up or go see him. I know him very well. I was just over there in his chambers to talk to him about another person that we've got in common in this court. So I think he will listen to me, and he probably would be interested to know that you're not doing what you're supposed to. And he has custody. See, I don't have jurisdiction over those kids, but those kids are in his jurisdiction. He can take them away from you. Now, I don't want that to happen, but you got to get serious about this. Okay? Quit. How old are you now, Sheena? 33? You're a grown woman. At least 50 years ago, you were a grown woman. Now it's still kind of delayed adolescence. You're still considered like 17 as compared to 50 years ago. But really, you're a grown woman. You got 2 teenagers and a 4-year-old. You got to start acting like a grown-up. No more partying around. Okay, September 5th, I want to see you back here, 10 o'clock for your next, we'll put it as a pretrial and review. All right, see you September 5th. This is your only notice. We're not going to call you or anything. You got to remember it, the day after Labor Day. You got to be in court in Chesapeake.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck. Make this work.
All right.
Okay, that finishes us up at the jail, and somebody will contact the adult probation about that monitor.
State of Ohio versus Tyus Ferguson, case number TRC 23506 A and B.
Okay. Mr. Ferguson, your case was set for trial on August 21st, and you weren't here then?
Yes, sir.
Do you have an explanation for that?
I blew my car up Saturday, so I had no way to get here. My mom had class Monday, and my grandma can't drive.
Did you call the court?
Yeah, I talked to her, I don't know what time it was. It might have been too late.
Who did you talk to?
The clerk.
I don't have any notice of that. Did the state get any notice that he was not going to be here?
No, Your Honor.
So what's the state
Oh,
asking?
okay. Well, Trooper Beam is the trooper on that case too, and he said that he did call the court the day of the trial when Trooper Beam was here, and he remembered that. Trooper Beam, I think, remembers everything.
Okay, so you're confirming that he did call in?
He did call in. Now, I also, I would like to state something for the record, if I may, Your Honor.
Yes, go
And
ahead.
that is that, number one, we were here and prepared for trial the other day. I don't have my file now because I didn't know he was going to be here. But from viewing the evidence, particularly the video, and from consulting with the trooper, I know that Mr. Ferguson was talking about the fact that he had another OVI case or DUI case in maybe West Virginia or Kentucky that was pending at the same time. And so that causes us a little bit of concern. We don't know what the outcome of that would be. However, given the fact, and I believe it to be true, this would still be a first offense, technically speaking, because they were both pending at the same time. And I don't know whether that has some influence on Mr. Ferguson's thinking about how he should proceed in this matter. But this is a first offense as far as what it's charged here, and if he were to enter a guilty plea, we would not ask for the court to impose jail time on him. We would ask for suspended jail time and have him do the 3-day driving school, and the fine and other sanctions commensurate with the standard minimum sentence if he wanted to conclude this today.
Mr. Ferguson, what's your response?
I'm okay with that.
All right, so you're changing your plea to guilty?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to make a statement to the court if you want about the case or explanation. You're not required to. Do you have any statement or explanation you want to make?
No, sir.
Tell me about your circumstances. Are you employed, in school? What do you do?
I'm employed. I quit the dealership because I couldn't work there without a license. So I'm working at my friend's liquor store and finishing my real estate school right now.
Okay. And, all right, so you have a case pending in another jurisdiction too?
Yeah.
It hasn't been resolved?
Mm-mm. It's a complicated, big thing.
All right, I'll sentence this as a first. Test score was 0.97, so I'm going to make it a $450 fine based on that. Court costs, 6-month license suspension starting the date of the incident, May 7th. 20 days in jail suspended on the condition that you do 5 days of community service. We have a community service program here at the court. Every day but Sunday or holiday, there's community service available to be worked, 7:30 a.m. You have to do 5 of those. You can do it on your days off, assuming that you have a day off that's a Monday through Saturday.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a review hearing on February 23rd of next year. If you finish everything, you don't have to come to that hearing. It's a hearing to check to see if you did do what you're ordered to do. If you haven't finished it, you got to show up. If you have stuff left to do and you don't show up, you get a warrant for not showing up. 2 years of level 4 probation, which is just to ensure that you do what you're ordered to do. You do have proof of insurance. I can give you a permit to drive, which I will do for work, community service, to come to court, and I'm aware that you do what's called the driver intervention program.
Yep.
That's mandatory in Ohio if I don't give you jail time. Unfortunately, we don't have a program here in the county, here in Lawrence County anymore. There is one in Scioto County, so that's probably just as close for you since you live in Russell. That's the closest one, and you can get the contact information for them from your probation officer. You're going to meet with him today before you leave. You had a speed offense, 76 and a 55. I'll impose a $75 fine on that. And I think that's everything. you'll get a piece of paper called a judgment entry that has all those things I just told you written down on it. That's what the court goes by. If you forget or lose it, your case is on, we have a website here at the court. You can pull it up. We actually have people that answer the phone. Because again, people say, well, I forgot. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. There's no excuse for that. I mean, you can call and get the information or go online and look and see what you have to do. You're going to meet with the probation officer, Mr. Major. His office is to the left as you leave the courtroom. And after you checked in with him and signed some paperwork, get copies, you'll be free to go. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, go check in with him. You're free to go after that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Trevor Dement. Case number CRA 23514 and others.
Your Honor, Mr. Dement's mother, Kelly Dement, is also here. I've spoken to her, kind of relayed the information she gave me to the prosecutor. At this time, I think what we'd like to do is, again, we waived reading. I'm going to ask that an OR bond be extended on this case. We are agreeable to a protective order that he stay away from the property of the alleged victim. In the meantime, he has another place to go, but that I think the prosecutor would probably do well to speak to Mrs. Dement about what happened, and there's some other issues and there's some issues in the criminal affidavit that I raised with Mr. Heel that don't seem consistent with our knowledge of the situation as it stands. And at this point, just set this for a preliminary hearing. We could just set it at whatever point we wanted to come back on this, give Mr. Hill time to do some further investigation, and we would waive time constraints to
One thing I was
accomplish
concerned,
that.
I glanced at the affidavit, it sounded like everybody was all living together. Is that a problem? They were all at the same residence?
He's no longer living at that residence, so that should be, in fact, my understanding at the time that this happened, he was in the process of getting a new place to stay, had a couple of days left before he had another place to stay, but he's there now, at the other place.
Okay, so what's the state's position on bond?
Well, Your Honor, the case that we're here on today first was another domestic violence charge, a felony. And we had been working through that. And
Different victim though, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Was it a different victim?
Different victim. And this different victim was also interested in seeing Mr. Dement go through his treatment and to try to resolve the case here. And now we got another similar situation, only involving Mr. Dement's father. So it's kind of alarming to us, and we're not going to just overlook any of this, obviously, but we do want, before we would decide that we needed to take everything to the grand jury, we want to hear from Mr. Dement's father, the alleged victim. And I'm glad that Mr. Dement's mother's here. I don't know whether I'll have time to speak with her or not, but I would ask her to make sure to have Mr. Dement here next time. And we're okay with a time waiver, a continuance of this, and we've asked for a protection order in the meantime, just to make sure there are no problems.
So you're okay with an OR bond?
Yes.
Okay, I'll set it as a $3,000 OR bond with the protection order, stay away from James. Apparently that's not going to be a problem.
No, I don't believe that'll be a problem.
And then when would you like to come back here? Sorry. And I'll point you on this.
I'm available any upcoming court date except the 11th or the 15th throughout September. So if you want to come back the 8th, that's a couple weeks away. If you want to go a little further or sooner, I'll leave it to the court's discretion.
Mr. Hill, do you have any input on that?
We're okay with September the 8th, Your Honor.
Okay, September the 8th will be the next hearing date, and there's a time waiver on the preliminary hearing till then.
Yes.
He should continue with his treatment as he has been. So all hearings are September the 8th.
September 8th.
So we need to...
You want to do the last one like that? Did you want to
Stick around for just a couple seconds, if you don't mind.
State of Ohio versus Elson Childers, case number TRC 23629, A, B, and C.
Hey, look. Did you take my file?
What are you asking me?
Oh, I've got it. I thought you... No.
Mr. Steyer's case, Ellison Childers.
Yes, Your Honor. This matter is set for trial, however, today. Due to some discussions with the prosecutor, we are at this time going to seek a continuance of the, well, I guess a continuance to a pretrial date to undertake some discovery and meet with Mr. Childers outside the courtroom. So at this, and we would waive time constraints to accomplish that. Today was the last day for time constraints, and we have been waiting for whether test results came in or not. So we'd like to seek a continuance at this time.
So, Your Honor, the way this transpired was that we are prepared to go forward with trial today, and the troopers here, we could do that. We don't have the urine results, and we understand why Mr. Steyer would have delayed in filing the discovery, because in effect that kind of makes indefinite the time to try the case if the results aren't back. We've become really used to having the results back well within 90 days. We feel that ultimately, after they have a chance to review the evidence, that we feel very strongly about the case, and we'll try it whenever it's time. But we felt like today it wouldn't be, probably it would be beneficial to Mr. Steyer in representing Mr. Childers if he had a chance to look everything over. And we may have the results very soon, so we're okay with the continuance.
All right.
So, and since this is really, we're asking for this, I'm just going to say a date convenient to the court and let, you know, don't pile you onto a day you've already overbooked. And other than the 11th and the 15th, I'm available all court days in September.
You will be back the 22nd?
Is the 22nd the day you're not here?
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, September 22nd.
I'll take that for you, so.
For trial. At defendant's request. Okay, court's
Still
adjourned.
plan to be here at 10.
Thanks for being here. Cool.
Damn, brother.
I think I mentioned it when I first transferred down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back and forth. I think I'll be up here for a couple of weeks and then I'll be back out.
Sounds like you probably see me a little more often.
I think so, yeah, we got, I don't know how many other years, but we got about 5 submission hearings. Holding up.
Really? Okay. Gotcha. I got one cycle for October, the motorcycle one. There's another one I got for next month, I think. Am I the one? Sorry.
You have a good time hanging around here today?
I got paid off.
And that was what his lawyer was talking about, because
Brian, it's Brian.
yes, and because it looked like the guy was really giving him a hassle, but maybe like he wouldn't move his hand off of the clutch or whatever, and then it turned out he probably shouldn't.
It was in my best interest that he did.
Yeah.
He explained that.
So it's not, but except he was speeding outrageously.
Yes.
And he continued again to pull away from you after he should have known you were, I don't know if you'd lit him up yet, but he knew you.
And that's why I thought it was going to be pursued, because that he wasn't going to stop. It's because I let him on, we got to get 80 miles an hour, and right there in front of Walmart.
Yes.
So coming towards the turnoff for the counter road, we go to court.
But I still, and I don't remember the outcome, whether he took a breath test, or urine test, or refusal, I don't remember.
He did, I did get a test from him. I did get both of them. I don't know if I did get a PT, but he did give me one post, like an official.
So there's no, I mean, you know, now that Brian's been to that class, he's going to dig into details. But I don't ultimately think it's going to convince the judge.
Yeah, I think it was solid. I mean, if you're just looking at it from the sense of the OBI, it was solid.
Yeah.
You know, whatever happens, like I didn't follow like we talked about, failure to comply or anything like that. Just because where he stopped, it was the reason of where I let him up, and he stopped was, again, he wasn't trying to stop, he told me that later. He said that I was just afraid to go throw my bike in my house right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sounds good, I'll be ready for that one.
All right, so, you know, and here's the thing too, I think that every time that there's a new way of, you know, thinking that they've got new angles, it's best to go ahead and show them no, you really don't.
Get out of system. Yeah, for sure, I'll be ready for it. So,
All right.
I'll see you soon.
All right, buddy, thanks for being here.
Hey, no problem at all.
Okay, yep. Just stamp it and then make the 3 copies. And we put one in the sheriff's box. The original. In the
Luke
sheriff's
needs to sign that.
Oh, he's gone?
He's out there talking to
Oh, is he?
I did the subpoena for you.
Okay, thank you.
And Missy, I'll have some other stuff to show you too. whenever you have a
Well, you
chance.
might as well show me since it's going to be here for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. So, we want to subpoena the victim on this one for the next hearing. And we want to,
Are you bound to make me blue or?
oh, did I hit you again? Dangerous. And then on Clarence Mahan,
Okay.
we've only got the one.
Right.
And there's our Goldie and Deputy Pizzelli.
Okay, so Andrew Curry, this was just now taken today at 1:02 PM.
Yeah.
There's that, there's
Yeah.
trash, and more trash, there's all those other bags of trash. That's the only thing he's done. And then this is behind his camera.
He's got, he's in residential drug treatment.
Hey, turn YouTube off.
And so I've been stressing the fact that he needs to be working on that too. And